Okay, so last we left off, you had all entered the town of Lakesvale, a town seemingly divided between two ruling human families of Helmsworth and Streamweedle. You arrived with prior knowledge that time is now of the essence. That you must get to the dwarven stronghold of Druvenholm, to the southwest before the forces of a hobgoblin captain named Grimlim. Through interrogation of a hobgoblin leader of a group of goblin stragglers that you found, apparently a notable member of this force is likely to be the ogres of the Massignor Canyon to the west of Druvenholm. You brought this information to the bickering ruling family leaders in one of the town's two town halls, to the matriarch of the Streamweedle family, Tarlo Streamweedle, and the patriarch of the Helmsworth family, Eddard Helmsworth. After much arguing, snide comments between them back and forth, and general squabbling between the two, they offered the services of their militias, 30 Streamweedle archers and 30 Helmsworth warriors. After that, Liska ventured off to a nearby tavern, found a fellow mountain folk who was gleefully and boisterously celebrating Patricia's revelry, a holiday widely celebrated in her homeland of Ragnarok, a day of celebration to remember the rebirth and the new life it brought to the continent. Liska promptly got sloshed and insisted Vellum do the same too, as he purchased rooms for the night. Arngrim decided to try and settle this quarrel that had been going on and been the cause of so much bad blood and battles between the two families for centuries. Salmon or cod? Arngrim gathered a small village's worth of grannies and held a fish-themed home-cooked feast, but swapped the salmon and the cod recipes in hopes that they wouldn't notice, seeking to repair some of this bad blood. A bit of shopping took place before everyone gathered for the festivities in the town square. Unfortunately, Grunker's alter ego, decided it would be a good idea to add some unreasonably hot spices to the matriarch's food. Tala, she wasn't too pleased, and accused Eddard of attempting to poison her, but quickly retracted the accusation after it was revealed that it was in fact Drunker that was the culprit. Algrim wasn't too pleased. Thankfully, Vela managed to somewhat smooth things over with the matriarch, to which she admitted that battered cod wasn't too bad. Perhaps a spark of healing that's caught on here. Regardless, you all made your way out of the town the next day, commanding your new militia of 60 men. As Liska began to train him throughout night and day, naturally falling back into her drill sergeant role as she was famous for back in the Dominion of Torment in Ragnarok. But it seems as though you're being watched from afar, as Sayun noted. There was also discussions of creating shields and armaments for this group, this militia of 60. As you all packed your things up in the morning, as the sun rises from across the horizon, undisturbed during the night, you head back out onto the open road, or at least off-road, as you've decided. Chorus of many synchronized footfalls as Liska begins a marching chant.
Say, am I gonna have this? Doodle-lip, rat lip. Yeah, no.
You can if you want, but I'm not going to hold you to that.
They wouldn't understand it. It'd be demonic.
Yeah,
demonic. Yeah. I was saying things, but unmuting would help. For clarification, just for the sake of my own brain, the Steam Hammer has like a platform?
Yes, on the back.
While everything's sort of being packed up, Venom's going to make his way over to Arngrim, who is likely preparing the Steam Hammer itself. Arngrim.
Hey, what is it?
Was wondering if I could make use of that platform on the strip. The one up there, that bit at the back.
Hey, if you could convince you not to sit on it.
Well, maybe I'm gonna use it for work, and Sal's got me helping with some bolts or screws or something.
Oh, I know. Quickly diverts the steam hammer, steers it back onto path, sticks its head back out the window again. All right, yeah, you know, go ahead, get right up there.
Cheers. And then he'll sort of get a few things as he's making his way over the Sal. Right, you ready to learn how this works and get some work done?
I mean, so long as you're not trying to burn a hole through the steam hammer with... And she sort of makes a gesture to form a lens with her hand.
Well, I don't even think I could, but I've been using this long enough to avoid that sort of thing. You get burned a couple times and the lesson sticks.
I kind of figured... I might have you poke you about an idea later.
Sure, but let's get that stuff you wanted done. And then he's sort of like climbing up onto the steam hammer as it's moving, just, you know. And after some time of setting up apparatus, he sort of plops himself down where he'd normally sit to do the work. And that's just however. Right, I don't know if you've been seeing how I do this, but I figure I'll run you a bit through it and then we can get working.
Right.
So, obviously, you get the principle behind this. It's focusing the light, creating the heat in a point, or a wider point. But it's not like magnifying glass, where it's just a flat lens. It's got... Best way to put it is it's got different angles inside it, and the cuts on the outside change. I'll just show you. And at that point, he sort of he reaches up to like a steel prong of sorts that attaches to where the lens is housed. To better describe the apparatus itself, it's almost like a sizable tripod with like not like a kiln at the bottom, but where metal would be melted down. And at the apex of this tripod is the housing, like a steel housing for the lens, and it has a variety of like steel prongs and various twisty-doos on it. And he reaches up to one of these, and with like a sort of slight gentle pull, it adjusts the angle of the lens, and then he twists another one, and it's sort of a sort of pitch and yaw situation goes on. This is how I basically control the temperature. I have more light shining through or less. I can make it a wider point or a finer point. And with that, you sort of takes some time to get Sal acquainted with how it works functionally, because he knows she's a very functional, practical woman about things. She needs to know how things work. Sort of, after the full explanation, so we can get sort of mechanical bits out of the way. Sort of slashes.
She would probably be able to follow along fairly easily.
Yeah, I mean, if it's simple enough for Vellum to manage, then it's definitely going to be easily digestible for Sal. He finishes up the explanation, sort of like slapping his thighs, and sort of, right, any questions before we get started?
I only have one.
Shoot.
How big could you make this?
Well, I didn't make this. I had a friend, well, I didn't have her make it. She sort of just showed up with it. Never really got a straight answer out of her about where she got it, or who made it, or how they made it. Just, you can see why I'm very careful with it.
Understandable.
All I know is how it works and how to use it.
I'll have to brew it on my idea, but let's get working, shall we?
Sure. And who knows? I mean, I might run into her out on the road, and we can ask her ourselves. She's a merchant sort, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw her bouncing around some trade hubs.
We'll have to
And-
wait and see. Now, are you gonna
Right.
talk all day?
Was it screws or bolts?
Bolts.
Right. And then they're going to be spending the day making bolts.
Yeah.
I don't know. I doubt a check is needed, but if you want one, I can provide one. But it's just like making a fuck ton of bolts.
Yeah. I would say probably no check needed. You're pretty good at smithing as it is.
Yeah, it's like just making like little bits and pieces.
Yeah.
I do gotta ask, what is your smithing modifier?
Depends on what tribute I have to use, because the smithing rules have different ones. It uses strength by default, so it'd be a +8 at its minimum.
Okay.
And if I use dex, it would be +11.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's bolts. We'll just be.
Oh
talking
no, for
terms
sure.
on
But Ducky was
I'm
curious.
just asking because as a base value I have a +8, and depending on whatever modifier I use, it will likely just be a 10.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. If Vellum had good stats, I would be amazing at it.
Okay.
Anyway,
so,
yes, they spend the day doing that on the.
Yeah.
So
So
it's sort
as-
of a test run to see if it's doable.
Yeah. So as you start doing that throughout the day while you're on the road, as you're occasionally stopping now and then as Liska sort of addresses or rather shouts at the regiment. The one who the one who dropped his greatsword earlier on, you know him. Throughout this past day, you've known him as Ingsley. He's bit of a greenhorn, needless to say. But it immediately just drops down 20 push-ups, struggles at around the 15 mark, and
When he starts struggling, like Liska basically crouches down and is sitting there yelling at him. It's like, if you fail, you will start over,
yes, ma'am.
and we'll have the entire company doing it beside you.
Oh, I love this.
It just immediately everyone focuses on Ingsley. Just come on, you can do it. It eventually struggles with the last 20. Stands up, arms exhausted as he picks up his great sword again, sets it on his shoulder, stands up, head held up high. You see a bead of sweat trickle down the side of his temple.
Liska shows no emotion, even though inside she's proud of him. And she's going to look like one more final sweep over the group, and then seeing that the tank is about to start moving again, she calls it to attention and then starts marching again.
All right.
Oh, I just realized who's on watch. Like on the road that we don't want to get ambushed. Vellum and Sao are busy. Arngrim's driving.
Sao. Oh, that's true. It was going to be Sao and Grunka.
Yeah, Sal's busy. Well, she's gonna be busy if she's helping. So yeah, it's Grunko or Liska, and Liska's probably keeping more of an eye on her boys than that cat than anything else.
Probably gonna be
Oh fuck!
Grunka and
Every
Admiral.
time with the bloody cat. Hang on.
it's the forest cat.
Cat, are you lazing about? Back in line.
Cat, you will pick up that shield and you will like it.
I do not care if it is heavy. You will pick it up.
I do not care if you have no thumbs.
It's like fucking bang on time. Just like she knows it's happening. Anyway,
She wants to get involved. She wants a tabaxi.
Yeah, you're talking to someone that's not her. He's
Yeah.
upset.
Right. So where were we?
I guess Grunka and Vedmir is keeping a lookout.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just mildly concerned that our usual lookout folks weren't able to look out.
I have a question. Do those Eyes of the Eagle goggles require attunement? I think they do, right?
Let me just double check.
Always good to know.
Yes, it does need attunement.
I was gonna say, if we I know it's going to be kind of busy through this march. Do you want to let Gronka or Vadmir attune to him while they look on it?
Sure.
Be smart, because if Sal's
But that's
focusing
part
on
of why the
Sal-
infusements are the way they are.
Mm.
I can just make an infusement that is more fit for some of you guys than me, and just hand it over to you.
Awesome.
Neat.
Okay. So,
So Gronka or Vadmir get advantage on the lookout?
They would get advantage on wisdom perception checks that relies on sight. In conditions of clear visibility, you can make out details on even extremely distant creatures and objects as small as 2 feet across.
I mean, I guess it'd be nice to not have this advantage. Because it's light outside.
Best part
That's
is
true. It
magic
probably
items
would
with-
be better to give Vadmir the the causes then.
Yeah. She's getting
Plus,
more of a
The
bonus.
goggles, they do nothing. Puts them on
it's,
backwards.
it's a magic item, so it will refit to suit whomever is wearing it.
it's got a let's see. It's got a +4 bonus to perception for Vadmir.
There's had the idea of them being telescopic, and Goropius puts them on the other side. And he's like, oh,
Puts them on the back of his head somehow.
No, no,
It's
no,
like,
no, no.
They don't
No,
work,
no.
I can't see anything.
No, he puts them the other way around. He's like, oh, that thing over there is really far away.
Oh, he puts them on inside out?
Yeah.
and they like jab him in the eyes? It's like,
Yeah, like, oh, wow.
He's really hard to wear.
And everything is now really far away.
Yeah. But why is Liska training them off in the distance?
Yeah.
She's
I
really
bet
far
it-
away.
Oh no, she came here really quick. Oh. She fast.
this guy can teleport? Oh no.
Oh no, oh no.
That's terrifying.
Okay, so you're giving them to Vadmir, yeah?
Vadmir.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that gives her advantage on perception checks
Based on
Yes.
sight.
based on sight. Okay.
Yeah, so she would have advantage, and then her passive perception would be +5.
+5, that's 14, so 19 passive.
Nice.
Good stuff.
Okay. Right. Let's note that down on her sheet. Let's see. Okay. So continuing along your way, the rolling hills of the plains of Drurenholm, they're awash with long golden grass for as far as the eye can see. It's almost like an inland sea of pale yellow wavering, pale yellow sort of wavering with the arid but warmer winds. It's also sort of broken in places by islands of large rocky boulders, jutting stone formations, cliff-like ridges, patchy gatherings of birchwood trees. You can occasionally see a small human farmstead now and then, surrounded by lush fields of barley, who are herding goats and cattle. Some one farmer who's just out doing the rounds. He kind of looks over the fence to see this regiment led by this strange metal ram-like machine. As he gives a slightly confused but respectful nod.
I mean, I should
Oh,
give the same if I saw that.
Alright. Eventually, you pass, continuing on your way. It's a fairly monotonous day of just continuous marching. It's now, at this point, approaching evening, approaching towards night. Do you want to continue on, or do you want to stop here for the evening?
I mean, I'd say maybe go into the late evening, but not into the night, because then we're just exhausting ourselves.
True. Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm saying that more to put that out there for the rest of the party to discuss.
Yeah,
I
that
would
makes sense.
probably
I mean-
agree.
Good idea
Pressing
not to
onwards.
march through the night.
Yeah, let's just
Do you want to
have
exhaust the
a
army?
twist and ankle.
No.
Yeah.
But given that Liska is still going to do drills.
Yeah.
So they'll be exhausted in other ways.
So as the sun's going down, obviously could keep working, but like bolts have been made. There's buckets of bolts.
Buckets of bolts.
Buckets of bolts, buckets of bolts. I was gonna sort of wipe his brow from the entire day of working. So, I know it's a bit weird than regular work, but what do you think? So I was looking
Far
forward
so
now.
good.
Sorry, repeat that?
So far so good.
Yeah, I recommend maybe cutting down on the layers tomorrow. It gets pretty hot working on this thing when you're that close to that much direct, focused sunlight. Sorry, it's a
yeah.
toot.
Alright, that's the meal whistle.
And as Liska's finished sort of whipping the last warrior into shape, they all sort of get up and they sort of gather around the larger campfire.
I love that he's got a. I feel like that's like an entirely separate whistle. He's got an array of whistles for every occasion. Like, this is the ambush whistle if we're
absolutely
ambushing
correct.
someone else. This is the ambush whistle for if we're being ambushed.
Yeah.
And they're like very slightly different in pitch, so you can't tell which it is.
You just know there's an ambush. And then someone brings the fact like, wait, if we're ambushing someone, do we not want to whistle to let them know? It's
Like, not have a whistle.
so,
How will they know they're being ambushed?
don't question it.
It's a disgrace, laddie.
A fine dwarven ambush needs a lot of noise. Sorry, I'm diverting.
So
Ambush them with sound just as much as weaponry.
it's so the way the camp's sort of been set up now. Everyone's got this sort of this generally understood way of camping now. These last couple of days, everyone's setting up their various tents and stuff around in like a sort of circular pattern around the main larger fire. It's a pretty large fire, not like a bonfire by any means, but it does certainly provide enough heat for everyone to gather around.
Yeah, I suspect there's like smaller fires able to keep consistent heat. Food time.
And with a 33, you provide some of the best meals that these people have probably enjoyed since Lakesvale. Since not even Lakesvale, probably the best
Since
meals
the
that
last
they've ever
time I
had.
cooked for.
Yeah.
Why does this remind me of the fact that, you know, an army on the march only goes so far as the stomach will carry them? Arngrim,
An
meanwhile,
army
is just
marches
like,
on its stomach.
yeah. Meanwhile, Arngrim is just like, I'll see to that.
No, Arngrim's just Super Saiyan powering them.
This is like
Aye.
working 5 pots at
Warriors
once.
battle from their belly.
Hey. And with it is plenty enough meals to even store away, have seconds on the next night, and it is plenty enjoyed by particularly some of the stream needle archers. Who this is in fact, please describe this meal for us.
Okay. So I shall double check for this, but I have bought a absolute ton of food. Most of the stuff that I have is going to be a bunch of just beans and pork, heavily seasoned, thrown in there with like a little bit of supplemental grains. It seems like all really basic stuff, but it's all incredibly fresh because I have those chests of preserving. So he's been getting just all the things he can, almost like he was just butchered, you know?
Yeah.
And it's carefully prepared, well seared on all the sides, fatty bites, everything with all the nutrients that a warrior would need in this easy to eat, just cooked all day on the heat and steam from this tank, just slow cooked pot roast style.
Ooh.
It's
Yeah.
just pork as the main ingredients. It is simmered to perfection. It's
Oh,
falling
motherfucker.
apart.
I haven't eaten yet.
So, as everyone's enjoying their meals, particularly the rest of the party, you see Vladimir has actually come up to you for seconds. He's like, this is the best meat I've ever had, better than what I had in the Ebonwood.
Hey, are you back in line trying to get more? As he waggles a finger, stern face,
She
quickly
kinda-
turns to a smile. Oh, good thing. There you go.
She kind of kicks a hoof in the dirt. Do you think you might be able to teach me?
I would be happy to.
There is an immediate glimmer in her eyes. Maybe when we are not on the road for battle, yes?
Well, you can help me season it tomorrow.
Can I?
Aye.
Okay. She immediately kind of runs off with a second meal and just plops down and thoroughly enjoys it. Just this flowering hope and sort of excitement in her voice.
It does the heart good. Oh, speaking of, where the fuck is Vellum?
Right behind you.
Oh, when did you get there?
I walked while you're talking.
You're right, scared me, lad. Alright. Question. I heard a lot of work. How did it go today?
He's just gonna heft up to don't know where the buckets came from, but he's just got a bucket in each hand and they're full to almost overflowing with bolts.
He made them, of course. He made the buckets to keep the bolts in.
Forged buckets to put the bolts in.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I'm tempted to go with it.
They're made out of bolts.
The
bucket
buckets
of
are
bolts.
also bolts.
A bolt bucket.
A bolt bucket.
They're
Bolt
actually
bucket of bolts.
they're actually just bolts that have been weaved together to form a bucket.
Hey, that might just be enough to get me started. Alright.
Well, I'm going to be working on shields with Sao for the rest of the trip. Squeeze as much time as we can out of this. We don't know when we're going to fight when we get there, so if you need more, it might have to get pushed down the work order.
No, I understand. For now, I think this'll do. Thank you.
No problem. Can I get seconds?
Of course, lad. You've been working hard. Here. He reaches underneath his hat and pulls something out. It is a piece of garlic bread for you. Don't tell anyone.
I am concerned.
He just
Little do you know, he's
Are
done
you
this for
suddenly
everybody.
a garlic bread cleric?
He's done it to everybody.
This is how I kill you, Helen.
It's his chef's hat of holding. He just stores shit up there.
A chef's hat of bread holding.
Yes.
Can I
Specifically bread.
reflavor my hat to be my hat of colding?
A chef
Or
hat.
just reach into my hat, pull out my ingredients.
Just
A chef hat of
Magician's top hat.
yeah, the
hat of
floppiest
bread
magic.
rolling.
Broiling. Oh, God. Anyway.
Breadling.
Thanks. So a little, so far I figure Angrid's been dishing things out of pots and cutting
Yeah.
things off a spit or something, and for him to just lift his hat and there be food there he just takes it tentatively and is thanks. That's
Food
dipping it in
and
whatever.
mushrooms.
He just dips it in whatever moist food he's presumably gotten from Angrid.
This is not the first time he's done this. Why are you surprised?
It's been a while, I think. Usually it's spices or something like that. It's explainable, but not like a warm piece of garlicky bread.
Yeah.
Been
You
like
get 4
preserved
temporary
cookies
HP
or
from that.
spicy.
Oh shit.
I mean, we're about to long rest, but
You would, I believe you keep that?
No, long
temp
rest gets
HP
rid of
always-
temp.
yeah.
Ah, damn, that's alright.
Oh,
Well, it's
You
You know,
know,
okay, I
if
can
you
make
want to
use of
Doing it
it.
prioritize
for
this to be
roleplay
like
reasons.
a morning meal,
Who knows? We might get
Plus, we
in.
might get yeah, exactly. As
That's true.
Gabo said, might get
You mean
ambushed.
breakfast? You have to have breakfast.
And second breakfast.
what about 11 C's?
Breakfast is what you have when you wake up at 2 a.m.
And third brunch.
So, as you all continue your meals, set up camp for the night. You finish up your last bit of training with the troops here, Liska. And out of the corner of your eye, you can see Vladimir off to the side. She's a there's a tall sort of like rock sticking out of the ground about 5 feet, and you can see her. She's got the sort of small dagger that she always carries, and it seems as though she's been watching you train these troops and is trying to replicate some of your maneuvers that you've been showing them.
Oh,
Oh,
adorable.
she's gonna multi-class into fighter.
Oh no, the worst kind of fighter.
Like Gish.
Battle
I
master.
just was-
I feel like Eldritch Knight might be better for her. Anyway, she could also just take a feat and like what is it, maneuver
Well,
master? Anyway,
Needless to
We
say,
discussed that because
yeah,
we're bringing
so-
later.
well,
so
regardless.
Liska's going to see that, and she's not going to stealth over because she can't stealth, but she's going to just kind of like slowly walk over, and get a good general look at what she's doing.
As
Just be like,
soon as you walk, as soon as you stride over, she kind of tucks the knife away and yeah, hello.
"Yeah, well, if you want, I can show you some good grips and like some quick attacks."
Are you sure?
Well,
Kind of-
yes, it's kind of what I do. And she motions to the regiment behind her.
She kind of gingerly takes up the knife and says, and she kind of shows you like a jab and a slice, but it's lacking form. It's lacking lacking.
Kind of wild and crazy.
Yeah. There's a lot of work to do.
Yeah. Like, okay. Well, first thing, one, you're kind of holding it a little awkwardly.
Oh,
Like, you want to make sure that your hand is gripped, and she kind of like takes her hand, repositions it.
like this.
Secondly, yes, good. Secondly, and she's going to pull out. This is going to pull out a long sword, which looks like a short sword to her. So, you know,
Yeah.
and just kind of like mimes. Like, secondly, what I want you to do is just relax. You are way too stiff right now.
Okay.
Just
relax.
close your eyes. Deep breath in, slow breath out. Just kind of feel the tension like drip out of your muscles, just like loosey goosey, as they say in the old country.
Right.
Alright. And now, and then Liska's gonna take a few, like, do a few form motions of just like slash, stab, like parry. Just simple stuff like that. Just so she can get down the basics.
Okay.
Be like, and now you see, as like when you're not stiff and you're not kind of amped up, things move a lot more smoothly.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a survival check. Just to, like you've been doing with the regiment here.
I forget, did I do?
I think it was
Was it with advantage?
I think it was just a normal survival check, but since your survival is so high, this is you doing what you do best.
26.
Alrighty. Let me just let's see. Just trying to see which one.
Okay. The last time with the regiment was with advantage. Gotcha.
Was it?
Yeah, but it's fine. It doesn't matter. I rolled an 18.
Right.
So
Yeah. 26. Yeah, she actually takes to it. Surprisingly, her form was incredibly bad before, but after showing her the stats, the sort of the way she needs to sort of relax her muscles and not sort of analyze things beforehand, just doing it, just sliding into the motions. She actually takes to it very well.
nice.
This is how you shank a bitch.
Yeah. I mean, Liska will say, like, hopefully this will never be a thing because dagger fighting is one of the most dangerous types of fighting because you're just in so close and a lot of shit can happen. So
This is the only
try
weapon.
to.
This is the only weapon I have. I just
No,
need
that's
to
not
do
true.
it.
You have magic. And that is
Jeez.
probably going to serve you a lot better than a knife.
True.
Question, is it a dagger or is it a knife?
It's
The difference being one's double-sided and one's one-sided.
It looks like a dagger.
Okay.
Probably the dagger she used when she was probably on the streets of Savant's Prospect. That she just had
Okay.
for ages, and
Gotcha. So yeah. So Liska would be like, after I train the regiment tomorrow night, come over and I'll show you a couple of more things, okay?
okay. Vadmia would like to try to prepare dinner with Angrim. Perhaps after then.
Sure. Makes sense.
There's a glisten in her eye and a grin in her cheeks as she continues practicing for the meantime.
Liska will pat her on the head, ruffle her hair, and then go back to terrorizing the regiment.
All right. So, as
Bonding time!
Like everyone's seeing her be like soft yet instructive to Vadmia, and then she just turns around and is like, right, instantly back in the
Back into Vader, yeah.
dictatorship.
you hear Adrian, one of the soldiers you familiarise yourself with, says out in from within the regiment, "Oh no, not again!
You're first, Adrian!
Oh, don't. Yes, ma'am." Kind of gingerly takes out his great sword, and immediately a circle begins forming around you, and you begin your sparring.
She's just into a thing where as soon as she gets one guy down, she just swings, just turns around and goes for another.
Yeah.
Basically, quote-unquote live-action sparring.
Oh yeah. Liska pulls no punches.
Nope. Flat of the blade, though. Don't want
Yep.
to kill people.
Continuing on your training for the night, and eventually, unless there's anything anyone else wants to do, we can head over towards the next day. Okay. So you all begin to head to bed for the night. It's about partway through the night that Vadmia kind of nudges you, Liska.
What is it?
You see her with the goggles on. It's a very unusual sight. It's like her eyes are just magnified 100 times their normal size, and she's not looking at you. She's just staring off into the distance, and it's just
Liska just kind of sits up. Look, There is some. I mean, we did talk about rotating out the regiment, like for watches.
Mhm.
So Liska's going to one assume there are fires, and two look over to where Vadmi is looking. Like, what is it? Do you see something?
Just a moment ago. About maybe 500 feet off, on the ridge over there. Big bestial shape. Some sort of big wolf, and also some small figure riding on top of it.
Given what they've been told, I'm trying not to meta, but I can't remember. Were we told about hobgoblins and wargs? And like wolves? Oh wait, yeah, because Grunka found...
Yeah, there
Grunka
was some
befriended
in
one.
the cave.
Yeah, we were fighting a bunch
Okay.
of wargs.
Okay, so, good, not metaing. Liska's going to look at Vadmi as like, giant big wolf shape, you said?
It wasn't alone though. There was 3 of them in total. Disappeared behind the ridge.
That bridge? And she
Uh-huh.
points. Okay. Liska is going to... How does she want to do this? How far into the night is it? Like, did we just kind of like settle down and everyone start, or
It was about maybe 11 o'clock midnightish when you all went to bed. About 3 hours after that, most of you are in deep sleep. Besides Blisker and occasionally Grunker, who's kind of up and about, checking now and then, doing the rounds, coordinating with Vladimir with the watches.
All right. Liska is going to go up to the watches, and basically fill them in like, hey, we think some enemy forces might be out there. It could be scouts, but there is a potential that there might be an attack tonight. Make sure you, like, be alert, keep your back to the fire to maintain your night vision, and if any, like, basically she'll kind of be patrolling with them. Because, like, as it stands right now, not quite a threat. I mean, it's a threat, but it's not an imminent threat in her eyes. And she doesn't want to fuck over the rest of the group, like with interrupted sleep. So she's going to basically do a 2-hour watch after the fact.
Yep. Okay.
And if anything happens, then she'll wake them up. If not, then she'll assume the danger has passed and
Yeah.
go to sleep.
All right then. The night continues for a moment. Eventually, you all come back awake. The rest of your night seemingly was not interrupted.
Okay. As soon as everyone's awake, Liska will bring it up at the party. So last night, Vladimir woke me up because she had seen a few figures on the horizon on that hill. And she points off to the specified one. It looked like 3-4 wargs with riders. So I think we are getting deep into enemy territory, and that we should probably be a bit more on guard for what is to come.
Alright. That does coincide a bit with what I saw earlier.
A lot of people muted.
So, how deep into enemy territory do you think we are?
Not having the big map, I do not know.
I will
Oh.
stick you on the map. Hang on.
No problem. Sable, Liska just told everybody about the wargs at night.
It's
Thankfully, they can't do shit about it.
It's been a few days since you left Lakes Vale.
Okay, we're about halfway. Alrighty then. With the big old map laid out all strategic style. Yeah, we've traveled probably about here, and she points to the map. So, the fact that we are getting these kind of riders might be indicative of some bad things, but then again, with that manner of quick, far-ranging cavalry, it is somewhat to be expected. I don't think we should take it as a bad sign that Druvenholm has been overrun.
So, likely they're just scouting the area to maintain control.
Yes, I think we will probably run into a smattering of forces here and there, not the main force, but this is somewhat indicative that we will probably be arriving into combat.
Right.
Aye, makes sense. I'm not as well learned in military as you, but seems smart that you have cavalry go a bit farther than what your men can. Make sure you don't get surprised. Also means, if they've been scouting us, as you say, they probably know our numbers and our strength and are preparing to counter us. So,
Yes, we will
be
be
sure
fighting
you
an uphill
don't
battle.
show all of your hands. We have to have something in reserve to surprise them.
Well, with that, unless someone else has something to say?
Nope.
Okay. With that, Liska is going to go and inform the troops and basically give a very parsed down version that there have been enemy scouts. Be on the lookout, particularly at night, for wargs and potential night attacks. Basically reiterate the whole, like, keep your back to the fire to maintain night vision.
Yeah.
And that they will probably be marching into combat. As such, she will not be drilling them as hard. It's going to be basically just going back over the basics to make sure that they're pretty much well prepared, make sure that they have their their battle buddies with them, and all that fun stuff.
Some of the troops seem taken aback by this. They seem a little bit nervous, but with how you've been training them, their resolve has definitely strengthened.
Nice. Alright. And I guess with that, we eat a hearty breakfast and set on out.
Alright.
And for working.
Do you want to roll for this, Arngrim, or shall we just flavor it and say, yeah, this is just breakfast?
Second serving.
Second survey. Sure.
26. Yeah. Not as fabulous as the meal last night, but definitely something worthy of a talk. Definitely worthy of worthy of a king,
And
perhaps.
always roll 19s.
Yeah. So, eventually, you will set off for the next day. Again, it is a long, long day of marching.
Alrighty. Long day of work.
Just double check thingamabobs before I do my rolls. Okay, so
If anyone has anything to say, feel free.
I'll do a little bit of roleplay during the work, but I'm gonna do my rolls so they're out of the way. Okay.
I think the only thing that I want to do currently is help a bit with the shields. But otherwise, I'm gonna try and replenish some of the spent things I've used.
Alright.
Because I'm out of smokes.
Vellum only needs you for 8 hours, so should be plenty of time for you to be able to manage that as well.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Shields need strength, and yep, shields need strength.
Okay, so while you're doing those rolls. So, after a long, long day of marching, in fact, I would say this is more or less 2 or 3 days that's going by here. And you don't see anything over the ridges. You don't see anything hiding behind rocks, either night or day. The absence of any sort of sighting of these so-called walks and these small figures that Vladimir told you of, Liska, it's a little bit unnerving. So we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's it go?
Everybody in the club's up on us, right?
1, 2. About 3 days go by without any reports from either Vladimir or the Watch.
Oh jeez, 3 days.
Alright. If Fliska's Fliska's sensing that there is just like a general anxiety about the whole not singing anything, she's just gonna remind him, or she's gonna play it off like they saw our awesome military might and they are running scared. You know, just
Yeah.
stuff like that. Because being in a state of constant alert is draining.
Yeah. Not healthy for the mind. But regardless, you settle down for another night of camping.
Quick question, sorry, just for clarification, you said something like 3 days of travel?
Yes, 3
Did you?
days.
Okay. On the first day, sort of reflecting what I just rolled, because I didn't know we were doing it in chunks of days. This is something that's noticeable by everyone in the vicinity, but probably more so by Sal because she's helping. A lot of how he works seems practiced and almost instinctive, but the jostling, the occasional jostling, is not what he's used to. And when working with like certain ingots or like certain pieces of metal, it'll look fine, but then he'll sort of take a very frustrated tone with more himself than anything else. Just, no, it's fucking wrong. It's wrong. And for all intents and purposes, it looks like a fine bit of metal. Nothing's off. But he's just such a hatred staring at this piece of metal, where he starts moving to rework it.
You good, Bellum?
What?
You good? You're
Oh,
screaming
Yeah.
at a piece of metal.
yeah, that happens sometimes on a bad day, Fulgen. Just that would crack under pressure, and I know it would. And almost as if sort of, not so much to prove a point, but just to almost confirm for himself, he's gonna like take he's gonna take a chisel and just honk it in half, and it's gonna be like the tiniest bit of hairline fracture in it, like the tiniest little bit. So yeah, I'm not putting shoddy work out, and this is probably quality's gonna be all right, but I don't think this is gonna be most work. I'm slowing us down a bit.
Well, you can always try again.
Yeah, I'm gonna
That's
have
what
to.
we're getting
I'm not
at.
gonna send these boys in with shoddy equipment. And he pops that metal back in to reforge, and there's your RP explanation for why there's only one shield today as opposed to two. And I'll do the rest of the rolls now. But on the third night, I will do another RP bit if that's all right with everyone. With like in the evening time of the third day. You said that sort of
Yeah.
bedding down for the third day, Jenna. Did you say? Sorry, I'm talking too fast. So Jenna.
Sorry, I just realised I was muted. You've been
So like, is this the night of the third day or the fourth day?
you've been bedding down, you know, after every day of marching. This coming up is the third day.
Okay, night of the third day. Okay, and that's gonna do these real quick for the 2 other days. But night of the third day, everyone's likely sitting down for food, and Verm's gonna plop himself next to Armgrim.
Oh, hello.
Hey,
Starts reaching for the hat.
I'm here for more blade.
Just wanted to talk to you today. That's all right. I'm good for food.
Oh.
He sort of like holds up his plate with, I assume, a very artery clogging pile of various paraphernalia.
It makes your heart stronger. It has to push harder.
Working out the muscle.
The heart's a muscle, lad. You have to train it too.
But I've been working with Sal the past few days, and it's kind of making me realize how different other people are with working. I mean, things are going smooth, obviously. But it's got me thinking. I mean, you're a smith as well. How are you? What's your process? I know some folks are like book learning, or like me, they're instinct, but everyone seems to be different in some way or another.
Well, would you like to see? I could demonstrate for you if it helps.
Well, I mean, if it's no trouble, I figure starting up a forge at this time of night is probably not easy.
Oh no, it's not too difficult. Here, I'll show you Okri. He knows a lot. Okay.
Okay.
So, what's giving you a pain?
Oh, nothing's giving me a pain. I just wanted to know how you worked, because everyone's got their own way. Even like if they all do the same things, everyone's got their own flair or difference.
Well, I can forge in two ways. First is the one that's a bit more traditional. It might be what you're more used to. Mine is the whole sand thing. And the second is I get the help of me clan. There's absolutely nothing wrong with getting help. In fact, I encourage it. Every master's got an apprentice to hold the tongs. And there's nothing wrong there. But it all starts in your head, and you have to have the idea, right? You have to know what you are making. Otherwise, you're just heating up and hitting metal, and well, you know what that... It's just gonna make it weak and crack. You can't really bend it back and fix it in the same way.
Oh, you gotta have the blueprints in your head or something like that. But going back a second, you're saying you get help?
I do. You see, I got Okre, I got Hilda. See, sometimes some of the other cousins like to come around. I can get quite a bit of help if I need. Here, I'll show you.
Yeah,
Do you have an hour to spare
Ollie-
before bed?
Sure. And the entire time you've been like listing off names, there's just been a look of confusion on Felton's face, as if he has no idea what you mean.
Well, they're the ones that helped me build this, as he pats his steam hammer.
Well, I mean,
Let me get some ingots from the back and I'll make something up. What have you been trying to make?
Well, I've just been knocking out shields so far, but figured in Dunolo you just had like a bunch of people helping you.
Some processes. I'll work on this first and show you them, and then we can figure out a way you might be able to do it. Alright, so he's gonna go to the back of his steam hammer, and out of like the 500 pounds of iron, he's gonna pull some out, enough to make a shield. And he's gonna set everything up, and he's gonna go to his little anvil around the side of his tent. I don't know if you have that resource at all to plump down, or if we even need to. But he's gonna get the little, go over to the little anvil, and he's going to get some chalk, and he's gonna begin drawing on it. He's gonna actually draw some runes. And with that, he's going to do his blessing. Over the ritual of an hour long, he actually forges the things.
How's it look thematically? Because I believe this is the first time Venom's actually witnessing this.
What he does is, after inscribing some runes on this anvil, they begin to glow a light blue, and from the little wisps start to come out bits of smoke, and other little dwarves, also ethereally blue, of the light. And they all look very similar to Arngrim. It seems not having your chin hair is a bit of a trend amongst some of them.
That's genetic.
Others have... some of them also have the big handlebar mustaches. Not so much genetic. You've actually seen Arngrim shave his chin. It's more likely you think short dwarves are right next to the forge, and if you have a 3-foot-long beard, it catches fire.
Makes sense.
So these...
That's why you gotta treat it.
That's why you put it up in a ponytail.
So all these ethereal dwarves come out. In this case, 3, and they come help him. They're all wearing similar sort of like outfits. They've got the smith's aprons and smocks and everything. They all got tools. And they start holding things. And one has a type of flame blower that's heating things up. And all these things start happening as he's starting to hammer something to show you where. Another dwarf with a larger hammer strikes it, and it changes, and it starts coalescing. And as it starts smithing, you actually start to see wood in there, in this shield. And it starts transforming. If you're at all learned at all in any type of magic, I guess if somebody else witnesses this, they're almost like alchemical runes. They're almost transmutation that he's written down, but they're dwarvish. And it actually is taking the metal and it is forming it into non-metal parts. And over about the course of an hour, this unnaturally fast and incredibly odd transformation takes place. And you have a just bog standard, although perhaps dwarven in style, shield.
Yes, it's sort of simple but very sort of octagonal in shape.
Sturdy.
Sturdy.
There is a
Once it's done.
Sorry.
What?
No, continue. I'll do Venom's reaction at the end of all of this.
I was gonna say, once it's done, and it is fully forged, the runes begin to sort of dissipate on their glow, and there's a smile from Arngrim to the other ghosts. They nod their head, and they just sort of into the night sky, just dissipating.
Out of character question, the materials that you used for this, was it just the iron from the back that you were talking about, or?
Yeah, I just got some iron. I had 500 pounds worth of iron just in ingots sitting in the back.
And now you don't have a round number anymore.
Yeah.
There's after like the spirits dissipate for the great beyond or whatever. There's like a pause. This entire time, Velen has been sort of like sat on a stump or something or a rock, observing, and like sort of, you know how his like arms across the chest, but one's like in front of your mouth, one with a hand in front of your mouth, sort of thing, like vertical arm, forearm. He's just been sort of doing that, not moving very much, observing the entire time, his eyes watching all the different parts in motion, as it were. And by the end of it, there's like a pause, and he's just like about to say something. His mouth opens, like he puts his hand up, and then reconsiders it. And finally, he just speaks up with, "You weren't kidding or being metaphorical about the whole getting help thing. I see. Are you haunted or something?"
No. You don't know. Oh, I'll have to.
No, I don't know. Whatever that was.
Lad, I'm from a crafting clan. And, well, you know how some clans, and well, maybe you don't because you're not a dwarf. How do I say this? Okay, time for the big talk. Alright. You see, when a dwarf is little, he hears stories. He hears of great heroics that his clan has done that bring it honor and pride. Dwarves only live as long as about you humans, or suppose orcs as well. But we live on 4 centuries. We have very long memories and very important traditions. They are literally living traditions through things like this. For some, it's a photo or a painting and memories. For others, if you're a bit more priestly, it manifests. It's not uncommon to hear stories of the ghosts of warriors coming back to haunt a pass and fight with these soldiers when they're on the brink. It's why those are all of his ancestors and the warriors standing behind him holding his shield up. My clan, we're not adventurers. Craftsmen. My name literally means bread baker. It's what we do. So these are the heroes of my clan. Those are the old cousins, uncles, and grandfathers.
Right, honestly, when you're talking about... I knew the stuff with clans, but I thought when you say clans, it's like society. Like, there's groups of smiths and groups of tailors, like guilds or family guilds. It was the only way I understood it, but what you're talking about is like that magical connection to your family. I'm getting that right.
For some it's a lot stronger. For others not so much. But it is very important to us. The idea of family and clans and blood. There are things that just live on in a dwarf, and that's kinda how. Not everybody can do what I can. It's a bit unusual, to be honest.
Sounds like it takes
And
a
it's...
lot.
Well, I've spent quite a few decades telling stories of them and revering them. And when I decided I want to go live like other legends, I want to be an adventurer and see the world, and I want to make my own story, I learned blacksmithing from a still living cousin of mine. We bumped into him. He was working on the temple there, and well, they taught me. So it's because of them I know how. And it might be because I revere those stories in the same way those Commonwealth folks might reveal their churches. It's not important to me.
Yeah, I funnily enough, I fully understand what you mean. I mean, you want to be the sort of person that your ancestors are to you. You, when your time has come, you want something there to persist, to keep helping your family.
Exactly.
There's a very thoughtful look on Vernon's face as he's sort of recounting this knowledge, almost as if sort of confirming it to himself as well as so just comprehending it. That's the word I was looking for.
There's a more careful, reassuring just on the shoulder. I knew you'd understand it.
Well,
It doesn't matter the kind of man you are, a craftsman understands leaving something behind that someone can use. It matters.
Well, that's what I hope to do someday, and I figure you've got a bit more of a direct way of doing it. But I understand, Angrim. No, I have to ask just to put my any concerns at ease. That old ghost thing, that's divine stuff, right? It's not like sort of waves his hands a bit in the. You can tell what he's implying.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I can summon the spirits of my last clan when I really need them. They can stand firm and stay all about me, repelling enemies, or the priests and the healers might stand and shed light and stitch wounds, or the craftsmen come along and they help me with this. That's the beautiful thing about Death Valley. It's not really the end for us. Any of us.
Bet that gives you a lot of comfort. Knowing that.
What?
As long as it's not necromancy or some shit, then you know, all good. Just
Well,
been
no,
getting
your
paranoid
corpse is
about
gonna
that
come
lately.
up and start trying to eat your brains.
Oh no, but ghosts aren't far off. You gotta admit.
Well, it's true.
But you said priests, it's divine, so it's all good.
Yeah. But you do want to be somewhat careful, though, lad. I would not be too concerned about, say, necromancy. I understand there's a bit of a about it, you know, with the wars. But what save your life, or if you need to guide a soul, or speak to one, or return someone to their flesh, it's how you do it.
Well,
You ever been burned?
yes, I have.
Is it the fire's fault?
No, but from what I don't know much about magic, I'll admit that, and it's very obvious. But what I do know is that, like with a sword, like with fire, as you said, it's not about what it is; it's about who's using it. And like I said,
Exactly.
you mentioned it's priests, and they're the sort that can use that responsibly and good. And then you got these necromancers a lot who, well, like you said, ugh. It's about the who, not the what.
Aye, but I'm not your pop, so I won't go too far into it, but if you don't mind me sharing one bit of wisdom, be very careful who you trust. Trust the person, not the tabard.
Yeah, Angrim, that's a lesson I learned a long time ago. But it's still appreciated, though. I fully get what you mean.
Understood. Just there can be some not so nice people in some nice groups. They do that on purpose, because that way you let your guard down, and then when you least expect it, BAM! They're roasted rump.
I know a lot about deceptive swords. That much you can believe. And while he is smiling from, you know, the sort of positivity of this whole vibe going on, there is like a slight melancholic undertone you could probably surmise being a wise boy.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
I do.
I'm gonna go finish my food. Probably gonna be a bit cold, but it's probably still good.
I
And
can heat it for you.
that would be nice.
With no ghosts?
Don't worry, Hungry. They're not gonna spook me so long as I know they're your kid. So they're fine in my book.
Very good. And maybe tomorrow night I can show you how I do things a bit more a mundane way. Maybe you can show me how you work with your crystal thing.
Well, I mean, if you poke your head out the window, you can probably see me and Sal working tomorrow. But I don't know how that's gonna affect your driving.
I'd like to get a little hands-on with it, you know. I've never forged that way. What dwarf can say they have?
Maybe when we're not off to war, and we have some time, I can show you how it all works.
Right.
I do have one question about your way, though.
Uh-huh.
How the fuck did you make wood out of iron?
He smiles, and then he taps his nose. It's Dwarven secret. Wink.
Well, that is some odd magic, but I ain't gonna question the results.
Stick around and you might just learn, lad.
So you're gonna give that to one of Liska's boys, or you're gonna turn it back or something? So directing at the shield that he made.
You know what? You keep it.
Oh, well.
It's got your name on it, after all. There's some Dwarven runes on it. Can you read Dwarven?
No.
Oh, there's some Dwarven runes on it.
So it looks at the runes. It's clear he doesn't know what the fuck it says. I'll take your word for it. Thank you, Uncle.
Of course, lad.
Can't promise I'll
No.
use it too much, but I'll definitely hold on to it for sentiment.
Well, if you're ever getting breathed on fire from a dragon, I hope you think of me when you cower behind it.
Well, if anything's been shown, I usually end up in their mouth. So we'll see.
We'll see. Honey, go get some food in you.
Alright. Just gonna pop that in my inventory because it's special. Arngrim's.
So, speaking of food, I imagine Arngrim's been doing his lessons with Vladimir.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, as you're showing her the appropriate spices to use, the spare. She's donned a sort of spare apron that you occasionally use, and she seems to have been listening in on the conversation as she's been kind of stirring the stew pot, and she kind of says to you, Arngrim. Hadn't you heard what you said about death and stuff? I think somewhat understands. It is see, death does not have to be malevolent and scary.
I agree.
It is part of life. It is a part of the natural cycle. Without death, there is no reason to appreciate the lives that we have.
It's like a good meal, isn't it? You take your time, you savor it, you enjoy the flavors instead of just scarfing it all down. Because you know you only have so much.
She kind of reaches over to one of the utensil tool racks, takes a small spoon, tastes the stew that you've been mostly cooking. This isn't her doing. She tastes it. What did you say? Aerate it. What was the next step? He says as she's tasting the stew.
Let's see. Got enough salt. You could feel the lard. Really aerate it. Get it all on the palate.
She tries copying what you're doing.
Try adding a bit of cumin.
Oh.
Give it a little spice.
Reaches up, grabs a bit of cumin, little bit of a dash in, tastes it. Oh.
There you go.
You see, I've always thought that life ends in death, death ends in life. It's the cycle of reincarnation.
Very good.
But
That's a good way of looking at it.
God damn it, Conker. Vatmir thinks she remembers someone saying that about death is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you are going to get. It is a weird metaphor, but it makes sense, yes?
What kind of box of chocolates does it say it's on it? Anyway, maybe it's not a cedar thing. Yeah, sure, that works well.
Have you ever heard about the Eventide Veil?
I have heard. I can't say I really know what it is.
It is a place of just that. Vadmir once saw it with her very own eyes. It's a place of reincarnation. Maybe that is where ancestors go when they die. And perhaps they appear to you through the Eventide Veil. It is just a guess, but
Mayhaps.
Vadmir does not know much about magic besides the stuff she wields.
Well, I don't know much about things except for the stuff I do, so that's fine. If you're gonna know anything, know what you do. And if you do, it's grand.
Agreed.
If not, well, you can learn on the way. Nobody knows everything.
Like I am trying to learn cooking with you.
Exactly. There you go.
Shall we see?
And maybe from you I'll learn a magical secret or two.
Oh, Vadmir can try and perhaps teach you something. Vadmir does not know how much of a good tutor she is.
Well, you gotta learn to teach.
Perhaps.
Perhaps indeed.
Well,
Alright.
shall we go and see if anyone wants seconds?
Agreed.
And with that,
Speaking of, don't tell anybody. Lifts up the hat. There's a piece of garlic bread, just for you.
Vadmir's never had garlic bread.
Well, let's eat on the way while we get seconds. Oh, and the others.
Okay.
They could use a meal for tomorrow.
Indeed.
And then he waddles off.
And with that, you and Vadmir give out dishes to second meals to the rest of the troop. And after everyone's had their meals for the evening, Vadmir comes over to you, Liska, for her evening short training session.
Alright, cool. Liska will just, do her thing, continue to train her, just kind of like get through the steps, make sure she knows the basics and all that stuff. Yeah, let's see, because this was 3 nights. So yeah, so she probably... Okay, so tonight, 3 nights after the initial one, Liska's gonna teach her... She's gonna get just like a stick, or just like a blunt thing that's about dagger length.
Yeah.
And go over, like, hooking with a dagger. So like if you need to like hook a shield or hook someone's arm because they might have armor, stuff like that. Like this is how you wrap around and you pull. This moves stuff out of the way that allows you to, you make openings that allow you to stab and whatnot. So yeah, she's going to just go through that process.
Yeah.
Basically make an entire night or, training session dedicated to that.
Okay, go ahead and make another survival check. I think it was this time with advantage.
Yeah, she's a trainer.
And this is going to be with advantage for the whole night. This is training, attempting to train Vadmir, training the troops. 22, not bad. The warriors are sore, but you gather, Liska, that your sort of drill sergeant routine is getting through to them, and Vadmir also seems to be catching on to this as well. Not as good as a few days ago, but it's just keeping that training going. Eventually, you sort of break through. You've managed to. The warriors themselves, because they've been doing this consistently ever since you left Lexven, you've managed to train them up to such a degree that the Streamweedle archers themselves, they've learned to hone their aim. They've gained another charge of their archer's eye ability, up to 4 per day now.
Nice.
Look at them snazzy boys.
Good shit.
In addition, you've also shown the Helmsworth warriors different parrying techniques, which sort of enable them to block more incoming attacks. Their bonus to AC for their parry reaction increases to 3.
Fuck yeah. Let's get doing her job.
So just go ahead and feel free to edit that in those sheets there. Eventually, after training is complete, Vadmir feels like she's fairly pleased with her own progress. Kind of gives you a hug around your leg, thanks you for training her, and continuing on for tomorrow night as well, or at least until you get to Drubenholm.
All right. Yeah, let's go. Gives her a pat on the head, says she's doing very well, she's learning quickly, and that she'll keep training her as long as she wants.
Okay. Unless anyone has anything else to say, we can head towards tomorrow morning.
Nope, all good. Tomorrow morning is when things are happening.
Grunky, you've been relatively quiet. Are you sure there's nothing you want to do?
Nah, I just been shipping some rocks.
Okay.
Shipping rocks?
Yeah.
This rock likes this rock, even though it's not canon.
Then rock.
Shipping with a S.
I know, I'm teasing.
I'm creating little daggers.
Okay.
Oh god, he's shanky.
Yeah, because Grunka's just
Oh, is this prison?
Yeah, because Grunka's just seeing everybody else craft and just like, well,
Yeah.
I've made them stone knife in my day, so I'm gonna do some because why not?
Okay.
All I'm picturing now is Grunka just out of range of somebody to attack with, and he's just gonna grab a bunch of rather rough flint daggers, just be like, random bullshit.
Yeah. So
I got rocks.
these aren't like actual daggers. This would be more like improv weaponry.
I mean, kinda. I mean, there are shipped flint, so
Yeah,
they're short. But it's not like it's more of a one-time use thing.
yeah, more of a one-time use thing. You're not really proficient in like flint.
No, it's just
Weaponry.
kind of it's just kind of done it a couple of times, but
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
like it's not particularly good. It's just you could probably cut something with it.
Yeah, we can say these would be like one-use functional daggers that you're not proficient in. So
Yeah.
just go ahead and mark down a flint dagger.
Yeah, I made this.
I made this. As you're chipping away at this, Webby's eagerly watching over your shoulder.
Yeah. Don't really have any holes on it, so it's just gonna be like a one-time use thing. And it's also, it's not gonna be a valid one, but it's, I don't know, I was just kind of bored. I haven't really been doing anything, so I figured out, it's been pretty boring. Maybe, you haven't really been able to put out a good weapon on anything. Been on the move. Maybe I'm gonna, I think when I use this, could be neat, I don't know.
Kind of waggles his abdomen forlornly.
Yeah. Maybe... Is there any trees nearby?
There's a few sparse birch trees nearby. One looks to have sort of fallen over. It's not like it's not like a forest. It's just these sparse, small clusters of maybe 2 or 3 birch trees every few hundred feet or so.
I see. Is it becoming nighttime?
It's getting that way. Yes, it's about almost that time when most people would turn in.
Okay.
I love that your voice got more distant, as if you were looking at a clock.
I was.
It's getting to about
I literally was.
Have we stopped and are starting to set up camp then?
Yeah, everyone's kind of finished up for the day. Everyone's starting to set up camp.
Okay. Webby. How about we go and hunt some bats? Yeah. We'll go over to one of those trees, and you make like a net in the tree, and then maybe we'll catch some bats or something. I don't know. Maybe some bird who tries to go to sleep, and then bam.
Webby's already on it. He's scuttling his way through the tall grass. You don't see anything of Webby besides the sort of parting of the grass here and there.
Oh, hang on, Webby. I only got 2 legs.
This crawls up a nearby birch tree.
Yeah, you're just gonna stand underneath and just kind of watch proudly. That's my boy. He hates birds as much as I do.
Gradually begins to weave a web over the course of an hour or so.
Yeah.
So,
Bird pain, they call it.
turn in for the night, everyone?
Yep.
Alright.
Much roleplay has been done today.
Yeah,
Literally-
we're just gonna stand with Webby for most of the night. Just kind of, I don't know, encourage.
Yeah.
Hopefully get a bird or 2.
Yeah.
Or a bat.
So, one by one, you all turn in for the night. Let me shut down the sounds there. There we go. One by one, you're all sort of taking your watches. About halfway through, Liska, you feel another nudge against your shoulder.
Kind of sits up.
And immediately, there's you see her rapidly pointing over in one direction towards the northwest.
What is it?
And this time you actually see it as well, since the ridge is closer. You see the familiar. You see shapes stood on a nearby ridge. They are. There's 4 of them, bestial in shape, clearly wolf-like. Larger and more gnarled, though. And 4 small figures right atop their backs. And one of them seems to give a hand signal, points towards the camp.
Liska is going to basically call to arms, like just in big, booming voice. Just be like, "Enemy raid!"
You all hear a distant sound of a war horn, and the chorus of multiple howls and battle cries. And
This
you
is
feel
basically just straight up getting up and like just repeatedly yelling, "Enemy raid, battle stations, battle stations."
all right.
He's going to grab. She's going to grab someone, point to the tent that everyone's in, and be like, "Wake up, Angudum. Tell him to get his cannon ready." And yeah, she's basically mustering the forces,
All right.
making sure that they get information enough to, withstand a potential cavalry charge. Which, to be fair, all you had to do to stop a cavalry charge is not break.
So
Yeah.
you will awaken one by one. All of your forces begin rallying one by one, gradually grabbing their swords, grabbing what shields they can from what Vellum has made, but probably not enough. And you all begin to feel a rumbling in the ground.
Oh no. Yeah, sadly I've only made 3 shields. Good luck everyone else.
That's fine.
Oh, I see you boys.
We're doing RTS now.
Well, I mean, it makes sense having like not a tutorial, but like a practice thing.
So
With the
I would
back.
like all of you to roll initiative.
Oh, our own initiatives.
One. Nice. Well, that's fine.
She was busy yelling at everyone.
Yeah, she's busy marshaling the forces.
So, to clarify here, this is mass combat. Each round is going to be 1 minute, and you need to be within 0-foot range to hit with a melee attack. All of your ranged spells will be rounded up to the nearest integer of 100.
Oh, Jesus.
What about thrown weapons like jam?
Why the fuck is my advantage not toggled?
I don't know. No, it is. You just rolled a 4 and a 1.
Yeah, it just doesn't show that it's advantage anymore. It used to, but now it's just
You gotta hover over it now.
Yeah.
Alright.
So, if you look at the map, this is being measured in 100 feet per square, and yeah, all of your ranged attacks, your ranged spells, anything with a range is going to be rounded up to the nearest integer of 100 feet. So a 60-foot range would be instead 100 feet.
Ah, okay, that's what you meant. I was like, damage-wise, I was like, fuck, man, okay.
No.
Gonna go quick.
Nope.
I believe it's just range because that just means 1 square away.
Oh, no, yeah, but when you first said it, like, everything that your archers do is rounded up by 100, I was just like, fuck, okay.
Nope.
So hypothetically, just for the sake of getting it straight in my head, if I wanted to throw a javelin, it's normally 30 feet of regular range, 120 of long range. That would instead be 100 and 200?
Yes.
Okay.
Just for the ease of combat here.
Just gonna, suddenly we're all stronger at throwing things.
Yeah. Also, your movement is times by 10. And if you have, say, 25 feet of movement, that will instead be rounded up to 30 feet. So, Arngrim and Liska, you both have 300 feet of movement.
Nice.
So much faster.
GG.
Yeah.
Now imagine the steam hammer.
200 feet. Because, again, this is all 1 minute, 1 minute per round. If someone would like to roll initiative for the archers and the warriors, who's going to be taking control of them?
I guess I can.
Okay.
I mean, you trained them. Makes sense that you'd be giving the orders.
Defaulting it to Liska, I think, is a good idea because she's kind of the commander in that.
Yeah.
Also,
play a role
feel
accordingly.
free to take that
Oh,
off, to toggle that off of two
Yes.
GMs.
Alright, that's still a 12.
Yep,
For
12.
the warriors, and like selecting them. I can't tell. I have so many sheets open right now, and there we go.
I
Me
would
too.
volunteer, but my
All
roll
right.
is terrible.
So, Grunker, what are you doing?
What the fuck am I doing?
Well, don't the archers go first? They rolled a 22.
Oh wait, hang on. Descending. There we go. Stream with archers. Okay.
You need to back
What's
the fuck up.
what's the archers doing?
Yeah, let's go. I mean, as Vellum said, the archers are going to reposition themselves so that they can fire from behind cover. Okay. Where is... There it is, okay. Going to move. Since I guess they're swarms, they can occupy the same space.
Yep.
And they're gonna tilt a little bit because I can. And then they will just double check. Cool. Then they are going to hold their action to fire upon them being within range. Like Liska's gonna basically be like, because she's been training them to like, you know, stuff coming up into them, but also knowing their own range because this is full-on war, not just skirmishing. So yeah, they're gonna hold, and they should know when the warg riders come within range.
All right. Let's be their turn.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Grunker.
Alright, well, I mean, I guess I'm gonna move to the front line. Because that's where I belong, I guess. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna like go over here.
And you measured that out, yeah?
I think so. So with this...
Just times your movement by 10.
And round up to the nearest number.
So,
So I think that should be 600.
so
Is this your movement 55?
you
That's 40.
40. So you have 400 feet of movement.
Oh, okay. Very far away. Okay. Oh. Okay, I guess I'm just gonna go there then. And gonna. Okay. Ruka is going to take out. He's gonna rummage around in his bag for a little bit, and he's gonna take out his spear. And he's gonna take out. He's gonna dust off his shield that he has, and he's gonna equip that.
Spartans!
Yeah, I guess it's time to fucking do shield war. And yeah, I guess just gonna get ready. He's not gonna rage yet because it's gonna take like I don't know how long time it's gonna take for these to come there. And I can only rage for a minute, so or well, 6 seconds, I guess.
We will say
Let me just say that when they're within like an action, I'm gonna rage.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
not gonna be
Makes
that
sense.
hard. Yeah, I guess it's my turn.
All right. Vellum, what you doing?
I am unmuting and gonna make sure I'm selecting myself and not the archers. Okay, so he knows Liska has the front. The archers have repositioned themselves accordingly, so he knows they're going to be there for the time being. Arngrim's got the front and Grunk is on that side, so he is going to position here. I don't know why I was rotating. Just in case any of these Wolgie boys decide to try and sort of sweep in. So he's there as a problem solver, and I'm gonna take the dodge action, which is basically like shield up in case they have ranged capability, and that will be me.
All
Just
right.
click the doodad. Click.
So,
Okay,
the
well-
the Helmsworth Warriors.
So yeah, we're clicking and we've skipped some people. So
Yeah.
the Warriors are going to, in very similar fashion, they're going to bloop, maneuver and get ready. Question, Janner.
Mm-hmm.
These rocks,
Yes.
are they a barrier? Like, did Vellum have to go out of his way to climb over them and stuff?
You would have. Yeah, that would be difficult terrain to climb over those.
Right. In that case, I can only get here.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so there is.
How many archers is there, and how many?
30 and 30.
30 and 30.
30.
Right. And then the Warriors, they will get their one. Yeah, why not? They will get their crossbows out with their swords like stuck in the ground beside them, and they will also, when the Warg Riders come within range, they will unleash their first volley and then
All right.
get their swords ready.
Okay.
It's her turn, and now just take Warg Riders.
So, because they are Warg Riders, they have a 500 feet movement.
Meow.
You watch as a small legion of goblin Warg Riders, to your horror, bounds down the sides of the cliffs here and begins to make their way around towards your left flank. And triggering the actions.
Right. So, because it is a question. I know I said reaction, but this is like a minute. Would I just be able to do the regular multi-attack with the archers, or is this kind of weird?
The way that attacks are working here is this is zoomed out to sort of a macro scale. Each attack is the summation of doing a full series of attacks.
Gotcha. So just a regular longbow attack, then not a multi-attack.
This would be a this would be a multi-attack. Yeah. It's just a single multi-attack, not like 10 rounds of 2 multi-attacks.
Gotcha.
That'd be broken.
Yeah.
The 20 and 18.
20 and 18, both of those hit.
And
so 9 and 6.
And because they can, and because, let's go just finish training them, they're going to
It's going to be total
do
damage.
their Archer's Eye. Whew. Nice.
Nice. So total damage
23.
23. So they have resistance because they are a swarm. So 11 points of piercing damage. You watch as the volley of bolts and arrows surges forward followed
Sorry,
by...
and
Yeah.
Yeah, the warriors have their crossbows, so they
Okay.
are.
7.
They also attack for 7.
So 6, 7, 3. And it takes out about nine or so of these Warg Riders. And you watch as other Warg Riders have to leap over their fallen comrades just to get forward. You can now see the chorus of goblins jeering, with what looks like long spears by their sides, as they enter into a charge towards the front lines. Alright, so Xiaoyun.
This is where I'm gonna have to ask you, Janner. Can I shoot through?
If you have elevation. Currently, the current elevation is a downward slope this way.
So they're upwards
Yes.
from me.
Oh no, they have the high ground.
You shit
It's
the
actually
bullets.
bad if they're charging as cavalry.
They're goblins. They're not very smart.
It means they can't stop as well.
Can I crawl up on here? The rocks next to me.
You can. This will be difficult terrain to climb up the rocks, but you can do it.
Then I would like to climb up, gain elevation, and then I'm gonna start taking pot shots once they get into range.
Alright.
But yeah, I'm gonna take a shot at these guys.
Alright. So go ahead and as you fire, reload, fire, reload. This is you doing a series of shots.
Yeah. I should also mention, thanks to the bipod, long range is also an option. That's why I have the 400 thing.
Were you able to set it up?
The bipod?
Mm-hmm.
Within a minute, I imagine.
Yeah, within a minute you can fairly easily set up a bipod.
Oh, no, I was curious where. Is he like perched up?
Just
Rocks.
perched on the rocks, I
I
imagine.
see that.
Yeah, I'm on a rock, as you can see.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I did not see.
Yeah.
Couldn't see through your life aura.
Yeah.
Okay.
Climb up, bonus action, aim as the item demands, and then fire.
Alright, go ahead.
This is just a straight roll thanks to the long range. Disadvantage and advantage cancelling.
So you take aim towards the charging on the oncoming charging regiment of Goblin Warg Riders. You begin firing, and Algrim and Liska, you see from behind you, and you watch about a number of these other Warg Riders are just immediately taken out. The goblins fall off of their mounts, skid across the ground. For 5, yep, that hit. That's yeah, I dealt a good blow to them.
And that should be all for me this turn.
Alright, Angrim,
You're gonna click that because
Yeah, there
I
you
don't
go.
want to mess up turn order again.
what you doing, Angrim?
Other than my tank that I realized.
I mean, you can reach it.
Yep, you're rounded up to 300 feet. You can easily get there.
I'm confused on movement here.
So you take your movement, multiply it times
Times 10.
100. Times 10, right?
Not
Times
100.
10, and then round up to the nearest 100. So
Yeah.
you have 25 feet, 250, round up to 300.
Okay.
That's how much you can
Round it
Also-
up, slap a 0 on.
All right. Well, then there we go.
This is just simply for ease of combat. And as you scurry through the camp, scurrying through the ranks of the Helmsworth warriors and the archers, you climb up into your tank, activate it, and we will say, hang on, what we can do here is just stick your icon on the tank.
Awesome. So that's my movement to get up onto it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna spend my action to turn it on.
All right.
Instead,
Stick you over there.
range
That
is
way.
rounded up to the nearest 100. So 120 can become 200.
Yep.
And if I look at this, alright, I can up to 60 feet, which would round up to 100, I assume, for an effect, because it's
Yep.
just a single square.
Yep. Just a single square.
Okay. Then...
Oh, nice.
Wall of fire.
Nice. So, over there. Okay.
And it's facing that direction.
All right. This great wall of fire erupts from the long grass, burning most of the grass away in the immediate nearby area.
Great wall of fire. Yeah, so that's my action. So that's it for me.
All right. Liska.
Okay, so Liska is going to, like, there's fucking chaos around her, arrows are being loosed, shit's happening, and she's going to, like, throughout all of it, just in a calm, like, measured voice, just be shouting, like, protect the archers, battle buddies, remember, you're only as good as your weapon. Watch your flanks. And she's like, as she's doing this, she's just casually moving around, and she's gonna like get up with the Helmsworth warriors, and yeah, she's going to basically be on the the front line with her men. Just a big fucking
Yep.
beacon of giant mithril armor.
Yeah. As a side note, in RTS terms, you guys here are the hero units.
Yeah, we kind of figured.
And you're just standing ground as the archers and crossbows fire over your head.
Yep. Like one or two ping off of her, and she's
Yeah.
just like, "I'm watching you."
Work on your aim.
Someone's doing push-ups until their arms break. But yeah, and then she's going to essentially just... You know what? Oh shit, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Liska is going to do her... this.
Oh shit.
She's gonna stand like, once she's marshaled everybody and gotten in front, she's gonna turn, look at the oncoming Warg Riders, and then just take a deep breath and just roar, like at them.
All right. So they need to make a.
Big fucking DC save.
You know, typically swarms are immune to fear, but this is a pretty boss moment. Oh, this is a really cool moment. I won't lie. So I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
So 16, DC 16.
Wisdom save. That's a 2. So they're not feared, but we'll say that they're negative to morale. It's definitely gone up by 1. You watch a couple of Warg riders, much to their riders' chagrin, the Wargs begin splintering off and just going separate directions. That's you've definitely startled them. You watch as the arid winds begin encircling Liska. You watch they seem to this cold wind, snow emerging where they shouldn't be. As you watch a massive cloak, a massive spectral cloak encase Liska's head in the form of a massive bear, and bellowing out throughout the plains, you hear the massive roar of a great dire bear. Not the typical mountain folk bellow that you once heard Liska do.
Let's go shit. And then yeah, Liska's just gonna be big, imposing. Like she's gonna roar, and then look back to her men and just give like a nod, like "Fuck yeah, we got this, guys."
All right. Next up is the Streamwiddle Archers.
All right. Upon the sight of their, for all intents and purposes, general, like standing up front, being a general badass, they will attack.
I see what you did there.
Yep. And no shame.
10 misses, but 16 hits.
Alright. And then
8
once
piercing
again,
damage.
Yes.
Plus.
Let's get this 4, so 12 total.
12 total. Alright, so 6 points of piercing damage. You watch a couple of stray Warg riders get impaled as they're running away from the bear-like visage of Liska.
And yeah, I think for movement they are going to just
Alright, so huddling up against the base of the rock there.
yeah, they're gonna, because they see this group approaching, and so they're going to basically just, they have the wall of fire, they have the big ass fucking tank, and they see Bronco being a boss out there in front. So yeah, they're just going to position so that they can take both oncoming forces.
Alright.
That's their turn.
Grunka, what you doing?
Well, I'm gonna go up there, so I'm not like in the way of the firewall, I guess. And I guess I'm just gonna brace.
Alright.
There's not much I can do really. I'm just gonna like stand there with shield and shield and all that. Then
Okay. Alright. Next up is Vellum's turn.
Well, I don't want to go wandering off by myself just yet, and those wargy boys probably got some distance before I get to me. Well, I'm gonna go over here and help with these Borgos, since I got a minute. A literal minute. I keep going to rotate myself out of habit.
I do it anyway.
So
Yeah.
you
Alright,
need
so attacking.
no, you're not. You need to be on them. You need to. You have a 0-foot reach at this
That's how it
scale.
works. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, in that case, just so I know, how does attacking work in gen? For like, how many do I do, etc., etc.
just your normal attacks. Zoomed out at this macro scale, one attack would be worth, say, 10 rounds of attacks. This is you sort of a.
So I just do my usual complement, and then the rest is figured out.
Yeah, just attacks as normal, because this is all kind of zoomed out to a large scale here. One attack is sort of representative of you doing, taking out, say, 5 or 6 of these per turn.
Well, I don't need to get closer because I have javelin.
Ah, there you go.
And I am in range for that. So, what to do? Do I wanna? Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
Did you have moved into them to do your full?
No, I'm gonna throw 2 javelins and then back the fuck up, ready for those warg boys on the north. Okay, so I'm gonna fighting spirit. Advantage on these mofos. Presuming there's no issue, that's it. I just treat my turn like normal, but it's macro.
Yep.
All right, so. Nope, that was supposed to be toggled with advantage. Damn it. Okay, so 14.
14 just about hits.
Okay, so. Stop typing. There we go. So 7
points of piercing, so 3.
And as part of my move, I get a free ready item get thingy. I'm gonna pull out another javelin and yeet it as my extra attack.
Alright. So this is you sort of pulling out a multiple series of javelins. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, as many as I have.
Yeah,
Which is the 2.
But just for flavor wise, this is again
flavor-wise,
sort of
like,
mass combat, different rules here.
Yeah, I get you.
24. So 19.
That was.
Is that 19 or 24?
That's 24 because I did fighting spirit.
All right, 24. So that hits 7 points of
moving
damage.
off of the square, was that difficult terrain, and is this square here difficult terrain?
No, that wouldn't be difficult terrain.
Is moving off of it difficult terrain?
Moving into difficult terrain is when it counts.
Yeah.
Okay, I still have enough movement to back up to here. Because I did 2. Arrow tool. Why have you forsaken me? Okay. That should still put me in a good position for the next turn. Yeah, I get thematically what it is. I'm just trying to get my head around it as we go. Anyway, I'm done. And I won't click. It'll mess everything up.
The Helmsworth Warriors.
Alright. Let's see, how do they want to do this? How do they want to do this? They don't... See, this is mostly going to be... Yeah, I won't be meta because they don't know what Liska's going to do. So yeah, they will just wait until the Warg Riders come within smacking range, and then they will smack.
Alright, so holding their action.
Yep.
Okay. They're the Goblin Riders. There is a clatter of steel as the Goblin Riders smack right into you, Liska, and the Helmsworth Warriors. And I believe that triggers your attacks there.
Yep. Let's see. Not advantage.
I return.
Welcome back.
My internet had a hiccup.
Actually, you know what? This first one will be an advantage because Liska gave them inspiration like the very first time she trained them. So, yeah, this first one will be with advantage.
It's inspiration.
15.
15 does hit.
Alright, now this normal attack. Oh, nope, they miss.
Nope.
Could you be an inspirational?
Do I see?
So 7 points of slashing damage, so it's up to 3.
But no casualties coming out of this, boys. Let's go.
And let's see. You're gonna get. So, because they have an unusual form of pack tactics, going to do a bite attack as they lunge into the front lines of you and the rest of the Helmsworth Warriors. For 22 for the Helmsworth Warriors.
I have a question because there's a lot of interesting things that are about to happen.
Yes.
Well, first of all, Liska's gonna use her reaction
Mm-hmm.
because they're attacking her boys. And she's gonna swing
All right.
because Sentinel it is a thing. And I'm gonna use my inspiration to do advantage because fuck these guys.
Mm-hmm. 25. Yeah, that hits.
Or 12.
So for 6.
And how would let's see, they attack. Okay, do they have multi-attack? These pack
No.
tactics? Okay.
I do not.
Okay. And how would this work?
It's
How would my being able to use a reaction to add my AC to someone being attacked?
Mhm.
Like, is that just Liska going around imposing and just being a big aggressive bitch, for lack of a better term?
I imagine so. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. Can't necessarily do that at the moment because just I use my action to mark them. By the way, they're marked
All right.
because Liska can do that to swarms. So yeah, as long as she's within range of them, they have disadvantage on all attacks,
Yeah.
which cancels out their pack tactics.
Nice.
All right. Nice. So,
If I may ask a follow-up question.
just so it's just a normal roll then.
Yeah, they still hit 22.
Yeah.
Though.
But because they were at that they were less than half HP, they only do 14 points of piercing damage to the Helmsworth Warriors.
Can I ask a quick question?
Mm-hmm.
What is the one red dot on the Warg Riders there?
That'll be this. That'll be the demoralization effect.
Okay, sorry. Continue.
I think that is all they can do because they got their double multi-attack. They rolled in that one. Liska marked as her reaction because she wasn't holding an attack because she did the roar. And yeah, okay, cool.
Okay.
So 14. Is that also halved because of swarm rules?
Halved. They would have done 22 points of piercing damage, but because they are half or lower health, they did 14 points of piercing damage.
No, I know. I'm just saying. Okay, never mind. The Helmsworth Warriors thing says it in there. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And you watch as the Warg Riders charge into the front lines, sending Helmsworth Warriors flying left and right. They end up here.
Oh, I was gonna. Fuck. Okay, I was gonna ask because it seemed like they stopped, and that was a thing. But how would Sentinel work for Liska? Like, can she stop the Warg Riders from charging through her?
I would imagine so. Yeah. Again, sort of. Again, rules are a bit funny when it comes to mass combat, but I'll allow it to flavor it however you like.
Okay. So yeah. So upon them crashing, Liska's basically just going to, like, at that last moment where everyone's kind of bracing, Liska is instead going to run forward, and she's going to just leap into the front line because she's as big as these wargs, and she's going to just like smack and bash. At one point in time, she throws a warg at another warg just to fucking create as much chaos and havoc of like, oh fuck, we probably shouldn't keep charging forward, you know, just to kind of to break that first charging line.
Imagine like a bowling pin noise in the background.
Basically.
So yeah, go ahead and make your opportunity attack. Again, you guys can flavour however you like how you want to attack these creatures. You know, this is you dashing aside like 3 at a time, so you can feel free to flavour this however. 29 does hit for 10 points of piercing damage.
Yeah, and Liska holds the line.
Liska does indeed hold the line.
Wait. Cool. And I'm guessing the other Worgen Riders can do their thing.
Yep. So all that kerfuffle. These Warg Riders are going to start making their way down here. Full sprint, full charge. Let's see. Immediately kind of turning around towards Vellum. Crashing into you. But that's all they can do. They did their dash. Yeah. So you've got your shield, yeah?
You're also muted soon.
Yes, you are. You are muted. Vellum.
He's BRB.
Oh well, he'll come back to being swarmed. He'll be fine.
Yeah. Let's see here. These Warg Riders come around back and look like they're about to charge in this direction. Full sprint. They make their way up into the arches with a difficult terrain from the tree. Almost sort of leaping over the branches as if it was nothing. These are agile creatures, very agile. And there. So you've got 2 packs of Warg Riders assailing the archers, crashing through them, and they look as though they're about to start assailing them with this combination of gnashing teeth and goblin scimitars. Soyun, what you doing?
This is where I come into an issue of everybody is now so intermingled that if I were to pull off AoE attacks, I'd likely end up hurting our own guys. I'm just gonna keep shooting.
Alright.
Except I'm gonna shoot at those closest to me.
Okay then.
Meaning I have an advantage.
I have a question.
Yes.
Since... Oh, no, this is more for Sal. I know you're talking about like AoE like with your turn and whatnot. Doesn't your turn also have that temp HP bubble?
Yeah, I haven't summoned my turret yet.
Yeah, that'd be extremely good for like keeping peeps alive.
Oh yeah, that's actually a pretty good thing. Let me just pull up because there is something specific about it. Because I can do it within a 5-foot area of me and then move it with a bonus action. Yeah, I'm gonna summon it.
Yep.
But it takes an action.
Yep. You
Right.
can do it as an action, yeah.
In
fact,
actions.
you know what? At this scale, I'll just say it's a bonus action.
So I can move it in the same turn.
Yeah, for the purposes of this.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna summon it and I'm gonna move it since it's its own entity technically. As it's crawling along, and I'm gonna guide it towards the steam hammer.
Alright.
So now the steam hammer essentially has a bubble.
Nice.
Where it has each creature of your choice within 10 feet of it gains temporary hit points equal to 1d8 plus maintenance modifier.
So we'll say that's the bubble. Match it with a green marker.
So that means, since it's technically, I was just thinking because the way I have the archers set up, they're not actually in a square, so I was going to move them here. What the fuck? Oh, because they're turned. That's annoying. Oh well. They're in these squares.
Oh, right, okay. So what we can just do is zoop.
There we go. Nice. So yeah, so they'd be getting temp HP too, since they are in said bubble.
Yeah,
At least part of them.
Yeah, it's a sparse sort of. Yeah, they moved out in a sort of a sparse formation here.
But yeah, they gain a total worth of 7 temp HP.
All right. So the archers get 7 temp HP.
And
So just
I'm now
go
going
ahead.
to take my main action and shoot.
Yeah, so go ahead and mark that off.
This also counts for Arngrim and anybody else within range, kind of. Anyway, bullet time.
All right.
Let's see, advantage, rifle.
So 13.
No advantage because I'm
Normal. Oh, normal.
still using the bipod.
normal range. Okay, 18. That hits.
Yeet.
13. Halves to 6. Ugh. You take. You actually take out a good number of these wall riders who look like they're about to close in on a small group of archers. It's just out from nowhere, and they'll just drop dead.
And that's my turn.
All right, Arngrim, you're in your tank. What are you doing?
I'm gonna pop on the guns and start shooting some of the Warg Riders in our flank. Really
All right.
punching them for that.
Turning that around before you start with the guns. Right, go ahead and fire.
Yep, I have to pull the sheet back up. Alright. And here we go.
That one hits. 2 points of piercing damage. That one also. That one just misses. And that one also hits. One by one, we'll just dropping these Warg Riders like flies.
Alright. You just a big sweep across the back where it's less likely he's gonna. Yeah.
You almost have to pause for a moment to let the steam, the sort of build up of steam, sort of release before you start once more across the other side of the across the other side of the battlefield.
Left to right sweeps, baby. Left to right sweeps.
Take your turn.
Alright, works well for me.
All right, let's
Yep.
go.
Alrighty then. Alright. Liska is going to do 2 attacks to the peeps that she's amidst.
Yeah, there's very few Warg Riders left, and they're starting to regret their decisions. 20, yeah, that
28
hits.
for 15.
15. With that, you see over the course of a minute, you see one Warg Rider who looks like he's about to turn and run. You swing your hammer. Well, I mean, you described it perfectly last time. Go ahead and finish them off.
Yeah, she's gonna basically whenever she sees one about to run, she's going to like the last one. She's gonna throw her sword. It's gonna arc through and just like pierce through its back leg through into the ground, and then she's gonna run up, and while it's like chomping at the sword to free its leg, she's going to just take her shield and bash its head in.
Crack.
Pull the sword out, and then do another roar. And let's see. I want to make sure I can do this. Okay. Then, seeing her archer boys in trouble, she's going to move, just because there's so much shit going on. Did that first? Okay, yeah, cool. And she's going to use her second attack to attack in there.
All right.
That misses, but luckily, she's going to use her action surge to get 2 more attacks.
Mm. 29 hits.
Pressure.
Or it's half of 18.
19.
That'd be,
Ooh, that's max damage. Nice.
yeah. Sorry, fuck. What's half of fucking 18 again?
9.
9. There you go. Okay. Yeah, that was a big hefty chunk off of these Warg Riders.
And then Uno Mas, Cerveza, Por Favor. For 13 damage, which
Yep.
comes out to 6 damage, 1/2. And so, look, I should specify. So the first attack was to the first swarm, so they're marked.
Oh,
Second
okay.
attack was to the second swarm, so they're marked.
Right, let me just take that damage back.
So
get
now,
damage from there. Yeah, we go.
yeah, so now their pack tactics are cancelled out as long as they're within Liska range.
All right. Good thinking. Let me just mark those two.
And das ist das. My turn is over.
All right. The Streamweedle Archers currently being assailed by gnashing teeth and swiping scimitars.
Alrighty then. So I know it was up, but it's been like a full minute since it happened. So is the firewall down, right?
Firewall at this point is down, yes.
Okay. With the archers seeing the approach and the combat, no likey. They're going to maneuver away while Liska is occupying, like the beastly thing she is. And then they're going to attack. Attack 1. Alright.
That
Attack
hits.
2.
That also hits.
And then for their third time of the day.
So give me the total damage.
Oh, plus it. Okay. 13.
13. All right. Another 6 points of damage. Yeah, you notice one pack of Warg Riders isn't looking so hot. They've got about 14 of them left, and they're kind of scurrying around disorganized, looking for the next target. But they see you, Liska, and begin to swarm in for the kill.
Nice. And that is the archer's turn.
All right. Next up is Gronka.
We're just gonna look around. I'm gonna be like, oh, come on. Just gonna turn around. Fire to cluster there. I can see where's who. Alright, there's some more. Is that group just dead? Okay,
it's
good.
a large group of dead Warg Riders. You can also see Warg Riders beginning to swarm in on Venom here.
Alright, well, those are probably the ones I should go for. Just gonna run over there. And Lucas gonna rage.
Alright.
A frenzied rage. He's gonna be real mad. Because nobody charged him when he was ready, and now he's mad. Don't ignore me! No, mad. Alright, Grook is gonna jab on them with some spears.
Alright.
Let's see. Recklessly, of course. Because he's angry.
Alright, go ahead. So 14 just narrowly hits. And 15 also hits. So a total of, we'll say just 7 points of piercing damage. The fire seems to deal a lot more damage than you initially hoped. Just warg. The smell of burning warg fur. It's not delightful to the senses. They take the full 6 points of fire damage.
Nice.
Now we know.
Yeah, now we know.
They are not resistant to fire.
That's good. It's Grumpa's turn. He's just gonna stand there with his shield and spear, and he's gonna stab goblins are right past him.
Alright. Velen, you and Grunker are currently being assailed, surrounded by goblin Borg riders, kind of galloping around in this circle, just waiting to take opportune strikes at you.
I have a question, Jane.
Yes.
These are gobos, yeah?
Yes.
Just your regular gobos we fought before?
These are goblins riding wargs, apparently.
And goblins have that whole sunlight sensitivity thing, yes?
I believe that's only
Deeplings.
It's only deeplings.
Yeah, only deeplings.
Gabos don't care.
Wow, really lost the lottery on that one.
Well, they usually spend all their time underground.
No, I mean,
You're not a
we
real
we also have 120 feet dark vision, so you know.
Dang. Yeah, I guess I was just mildly thinking, haha, they can't hit me without getting disadvantage. I have a bubble of sunlight, but they don't have the sunlight.
No, you're just third Grunker.
Well, here I go swinging again.
Here we go again, my old-
And I haven't been hit yet, so I'm not going to Fighting Spirit just yet. Maximize the use of that temp HP. I'm going to go one-handed because, you know, I want to shield when I'm being swarmed. This one.
A couple of a couple of warg riders dart in from the swarm, seeking out only you, Velen, who's this beacon of light, and as they attempt to claw and gnash their teeth, attempting to bite into your torso. However, you cleave your sword through a couple of these warg riders. You just cleave the goblin riding it just completely in twain. It seems that radiant damage they are also not resistant to.
Hey, I didn't know they were resistant to anything, so that's me done. I don't really have anything for bonus action.
Alright. The warriors.
Alrighty then. I think the warriors are going to, much like their friends. Okay. Okay, so they're like that. They see that happening there. They see Vellum. They see Liska just being boss mode over there. They're going to go and help out Grunk and Vellum.
Okay.
Going to make attacks with great swords.
Just get rid of this over.
They're not hitting that well, but it happens. Hey, 8 damage. And
Yep.
that is going to be their turn. Because they can't really split. Yeah, we'll just be there.
We can make them split if you so choose. Let me just there you go.
Cool. Alright, so yeah, so one, bloop. And the other is going to, let's see, they started in this position. So, one, yeah. Okay, cool. So, the first attack misses this group, the second attack hits one of those two for 8 slashing.
Alright, so the first one misses, second one hits, and I've already done the damage for that one. Okay.
And let's see, let me I'll just keep track of their health.
Okay. The Warg Riders. Let's see. These 2 packs of Warg Riders is immediately going to hone in towards your position, Liska. And the Warg Riders are going to leap up, attempt to bite into your arm, bite into your back. For 17 and a 20.
9.
Nope.
Yet.
Oh, how does Liska fend this off?
She's just... Yeah, she's just this hulking mass that just wades through stuff like are charging her. She's deflecting jumping wargs with her shield. She's ducking underneath while swinging out to smack something else. Like, she's just like a walking... She's like, she doesn't run anywhere. She just casually wades through battle.
Oh yeah,
Just like this hulking ship.
What one attempts to bite into the back of your what's it? Of your pauldron, but you just lunge forwards to one side and just fling it over your shoulder.
She's boss ass lady.
The HMS abs.
Yeah. So Yun.
Question.
Yes.
Magical damage.
If it's
My rifle is infused with repeating shot, making the ammunition I shoot out magical.
Right. I did look up the swarm rules for this. Doesn't matter if it's magical or not, or if it's magical or mundane, if it deals piercing damage, slashing damage, or bludgeoning damage, that would get the swarms would have resistance to that.
Good to know.
Like Grunka's Rage.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep shooting with advantage.
Alright. 18 does hit. Let's see, 4 damage. There's only one. There's only 4 or 5 of these Warg Riders left. This single pack.
And I have the protective turret out, so I can't do a fire attack.
Yeah.
Sad. But yeah, that's about it.
Alrighty. Ongrim, what you doing? I think you're... Are you muted? Yeah, you're muted.
Yes.
There you go.
Hopefully slapping some shit, as I'm gonna give a few more good old bursts of the steam hammer.
Alright. That hits. That also hits. And that hits as well.
Total of 14 shit.
Nice. How do you finish off this last pack of Warg Riders? Or at least one of the packs surrounding this guy?
There's one here.
Hang on. Those are both on top of this guy. There we go.
Okay, fantastic. He is going... How can you flavor shooting something? He is going to deliberately aim a little bit higher up, knowing that he's probably going to miss a few shots, but as he's just sweeping to the side, and he's just slowly letting the steam and the bullets go off, a lot of them just start hitting in like the face and the neck of these things and just starting to rip off chunks, because these are old musket bile things, the size of kiwis. They're not the little bullets of today, so it's just impacts, spreads, and just blows holes through guys, taking heads off, as he just almost is decapitating rows.
You watch one Warg with a cackling goblin on back, leaps up towards Liska, but is immediately blown asunder by one round. Just dashes of blood across Liska's armor and her face. Is that your turn?
Yes.
All right. Let me just.
How much more?
Let me just move over there. Let me just stick it there. There we go. We'll move that side. Liska, what you doing?
Well, Liska, don't be fucking shit up.
Alright.
Like she do. And she gonna be swinging. And she gonna be hurting.
Yep, that hits.
And Moss Cerveza.
That also hits.
So let's see. A total of 25.
Oh. So 12.
Yep.
They're not looking so hot.
They're also marked for lulz.
they are remarked.
Did they?
All
Question.
right.
Oh, sorry. Did they attack anybody last turn?
These. Oh wait, no. Those two attacked, but the ones up top didn't. So my bad.
Oh yeah, they didn't attack because they dashed to get where they were. Right. Gotcha.
I think that was the turn before that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we're only in round
4.
Round 4. Let's see. So first round they moved. Second round they dashed. Third round. Yeah, we're in round 3. Round 4 is about to happen. So yeah, they haven't.
Right.
They haven't gone yet.
Okay, so they can attack.
Yes, when their turn comes up. Yes.
Okay. Next up is the archers.
All right. Okay. So the archers, seeing like Arngrim's doing his thing and unloading bullets, they're going to focus their attention up at the people attacking Velen and Grunka. So 1, 2.
First one hits, second one misses.
And for the last time of the day, we'll add on 10.
Oh.
So 17 total.
17
Finally
total, minus 8. Alright, nice. As this group of wargs is stalking and surrounding both of you, Grunka and Vellum, you watch a hailstorm of arrows begins to pepper your current position, but you both hold up your shields. Ting, 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 as a number of arrows ping off of them, and as you lower them, you see about 5 or so of these warg riders have just been decimated, pincushions. All right. Next up is Grunka.
It's time to smash. No, not smash. I'm stabbing.
Time to stab.
Time to
Stab smash.
Time to poke. Well, I'm gonna poke. I'm gonna do it with reckless abandon. Let's see. That's 1.
21. That hits.
That's 2. And because some frenzy raging, that's 3.
Good lord. So that's an advantage on all of them, yeah?
Yep.
Alright, so 21, 16, yeah, all of those hits. Okay, just give me the sum total damage.
Oof, okay.
Yeah,
That's-
just separate it into piercing and fire.
32 piercing, 9 fire.
Oh! 32, half of 32, 32.
16.
16, alright, lovely, thank you. 16, and then total fire?
9.
Alright, how does Grunka want to flavour decimating this group of stalking warg riders?
Very angrily.
Just
And I guess it's just. I guess nobody's really seen him fight with a spear before, and I guess it's very different from how he uses his hammer, which is it's very smashy. But this is very like, he's doing a lot of jumping and he's doing a lot of twirls, and he's like jumping up and he's stabbing them, and then he's stabbing another one.
It's
And
like
it's very acrobatic for Grunka, but he's also extremely mad while doing it.
oh yeah. Just like fucking Yoda with the lightsaber.
Yeah, kind of. It's a lot of pumping clashing.
You just hear this constant angry scream over towards the north as the rest of you look on. You just see this blur of motion. You just see 2 pinpoints of angry red eyes.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of shield dashing as well.
Oh yeah. Alright, Vellum. You see this take place, and Grunko just decimates this rank, this regiment of Warg Riders.
I feel like I missed something. Have I been attacked yet?
Nope.
Not yet.
Well. Fuck it, two-handing, let's go. I'll fighting spirit two-hand, because apparently they don't want to bother paying attention to me to attack, so fuck them.
They're already dead. They're already dead.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, so they are.
Grunko
I saw a circle and was like, shit.
Yeah, the
Now
only
let's go
remaining
murder
Warg
those
Riders
ones
are these ones, yeah.
So 22.
I mean, both of those hit, yeah.
Well, I mean, that was meant to be advantage. I forgot to toggle it again.
Okay.
Like,
So
getting out the
20,
sheet
22,
works.
yeah, that definitely hits.
Oh, 13. Ah, well. Can't win them all. And now let me.
Alright, so let me. Sorry, there's lots of things piled on here.
Yeah,
Let me
it's
just.
kind of. That's why I thought they were still them alive.
Right, so total damage of 14 radiant. Yeah, not looking very hot. As Vellum just enters this whirling dervish mode with his sunblade, just lighting up the night here. This sunlit beacon in the night here. As he wades through the long grass, a number of these Warg Riders start, stalking, rushing through the long grass, pouncing on him. But Vellum is too quick and just cuts one in half. The other one just slices the head off the goblin mounted on this Warg. All right. Next up is the warriors.
Alright, sorry, my internet crapped out for a second there. Alright. The warriors will join together back to they're swarming. They're fucking swarming. Yeah.
There we go.
And they will, because they can.
Is he all cramming on this position?
Yeah. They're going to attack. They're going to attack because that's just what they do. Not good on rolls for the warriors. Ah, there we go, my boys.
Oh, there you go. So
Alright.
I need damage on that.
10 damage.
Oh,
For those who can remember this,
Actually, wait, fuck, hold on.
Oh.
Fuck, no, because the crits.
Yeah,
Fuck,
crit.
okay, hold on. So, let's see, 2d4, which is 8, plus 5, 13. So 13 damage.
Nice. A scant few Warg Riders remain. About 5 of them left.
Murder!
And I think that's their turn.
Alright. Okay, so barks and yelps fill the night air as they begin just running.
Liska has something to say about that.
Yes, she does.
I think everyone does.
I imagine everyone would.
Oh. Yep.
Do I even need to roll? I'm pretty sure they're fucking dead.
Yeah, make the killing blow, Liska.
Liska is going to... She's gonna, like, rally her guys, rally her boys, and, like, when she sees that, like, the wargs start looking like they're panicking and they're about to run, she, like swing that way, and she's basically hemming them in, and then with combined effort, she's gonna basically trap them in a slowly shrinking circle, and they're just gonna get cut down one by one.
All right. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah. And eventually, yeah, one by one, as each of these warg riders attempt to make a dash for it, they get caught in this brief sort of improv shield wall of the warriors that do have the shields that Velen prepared. and there's this just clatter of steel against flesh as the warg riders are just stopped in their tracks, and the warriors come in for a pincer move, and in that instant they are all one by one cut down.
Alright, because this is probably just a momentary thing, at least hoping. Liska's going to kind of look around to see if there are any more threats, and if there are not, she is going to basically just start barking orders like, see to the wounded, gather everybody. She wants to try to save as many injured lives as she can.
Mm-hmm. As they all fall back into formation, they recover the wounded, and sadly, also the fallen.
No,
we lost some boys.
Kirk's gonna go and tend to the wounded.
Mm-hmm. So, unfortunately, because the hit points represent the regiment amount as a whole, you now only have 23 warriors left.
7 diamonds.
Could we potentially have, like, could I argue that Grunka might be able to save, or could I ask that Grunka might be able to save a few with his expertise, his healing expertise?
Also, we have a cleric.
You do
That
have
too.
a cleric as well.
Magic.
So as you all recover, the adrenaline still pumping within your system, I will say, throughout the next, you know what? I'll say just between the two of you, just go ahead and roll a d8.
Could I use my inspiration for this?
Yes.
Thanks.
I'll also say, because you and Angrim also working together on this, you'd have advantage.
Let's see, so I'm rolling 2d8s?
Roll 2 separate instances of 1d8, and just take the higher one.
Okay.
Save our boys.
7?
Yes.
You do what you thought were dead soldiers on the ground. You do find that they are still breathing, if unconscious and bleeding heavily.
I just need a
Do
little
I roll
bit.
d8s?
This is more just a combined effort between you and Gronka.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't roll anything.
No.
Nah, I took it because I used my inspiration to do it with advantage.
You do thankfully
so-
manage to recover 7 fallen soldiers.
Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly the number we thought to
Yes.
lost.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah, no casualties. Woo!
Yes,
Just bandages up and you give him a little slap and maybe like poke his heart a little, and there we go.
Oh, your head's missing? I'll just strap it back on. There you go.
Yeah, it's okay.
That's fine. Go talk to the cleric. He'll be able to reattach it.
Yeah. Just carry your head over there.
Don't try not move your spines. Not there anymore. It's just to put it back.
But talk to the cleric.
Just put it back in. Yeah, it's really fine.
It's like Mortal Kombat fatality. Like your spine's missing.
Oh no.
But
while you're alive, good for you.
don't question it.
So you're gonna expend 7 healer kits charges.
Yeah, you'll probably need that much to heal all of them.
Yeah, figured it's 1 per person.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well worth it.
Yeah.
So spending the next hour doing this, eventually the realization sets in. You hear a couple of the soldiers go, "We did it! We fended them off!" And eventually, there's this gradual this relief, and you hear cheers throughout the ranks.
Liska will remain stoic and just go around checking in on the injured folk. Be like, Grunka taped up that hand, but you should go to Argrim to get it reattached.
Yeah, just make sure it's not on backwards. Hate when it happens.
Suddenly Rakshasa
stumbles over to Angrim's tank, where there's where the wounded are being sort of brought.
Okay.
Healed up.
And whose finger is this? Hello, who's me?
I think that's Harvey's.
Is it? Okay, here you go. It's probably
give it back to Harvey. Yeah.
Probably index finger. I'll see if I can find any more. See anyone else missing anything else? No? Okay, I'm gonna check anyway.
You spend the moment looking around the camp for the owner of one stray finger.
Yeah.
You do eventually find it. It's one of the archers whose finger got bitten off by one of the walks.
Yeah. Just brush some dirt off it.
He needs those fingers.
Yeah, you gotta brush some dirt
Depends, is
off
it the finger he used to draw the string with, or...
You don't want to know what he does with that finger.
Probably the finger he uses to draw the string with.
Yeah, so I just kind of, blow the dirt off it. I don't know, I don't really have it in cold, so I'm just gonna be quick.
I have a question.
Yes.
So regenerate fully regrows missing limbs. Will my healing spells, if the limbs are present and kind of mashed up on it, allow me to reattach them? Since I'm healing the tissues back together?
Regenerate specifically has that clause that you can either regenerate the full limb or reattach a missing limb.
Yeah. So regenerate lets you do that. It will make a new one. With this, I'm asking if the new one's still there, and since it hasn't been very long and the tissue's probably still alive, if I can, reattach it.
Yeah, I think this. I think this is all
regeneration.
being. Yeah, I think this is all just flavor.
Yeah, this is pretty much all just flavour.
Okay. Never mind.
Yeah, if one of
But I'm
us
just
lost our
curious,
limbs,
'cause that does
it'd
set
be
a
different.
precedent.
You could also do what one guy did when he came to one of my characters in another game to have his finger reattached and just asked me, could you just regenerate the finger so I can keep this? And then he wore it on a necklace.
Well, I think.
Well, I can't do regenerate because that's a 7th level spell.
Yeah,
That's why
Yeah.
Just make sure it's not on backwards.
Hey everyone.
Yeah,
Also,
I
Jay-
think this has just all been flavor.
Yeah. You know, you know, I just realized something.
Yeah, just
It would have been extremely funny if we rolled an 8.
And one extra person came back.
Yeah, we just
We converted one of the goblins.
Yeah, we recruited a goblin
This is
who has like
Pablo,
a
the defector.
yeah, he got struck in the head real bad. He thinks it's a real person.
Yeah, because I was
Yeah.
thinking that. It's
Greenskins
just like,
aren't people.
what? It's like, okay, there's 7 of them
Oh.
dead.
Yeah.
Speaking of greenskins not being people, Arngrim's gonna grab a few guys and ask for some help collecting all the greenskin bodies.
Ah, yes, have to do away with them.
yes, okay.
Time for feast.
You spend a moment kind of collecting all the bodies, gathering them up, and eventually kind of just
Okay.
putting them all in a pile here.
How many?
Let's see. There was 1, 2, 3. From what you can tell, there was about 200 of them in total.
All right.
Not very hardy creatures, and you as individuals are doing most of the work here.
I mean, I'm just shooting. But I am
I'm
going
going
to
back
check
to
up
bed.
on my protector bot. Because this is the first time I've used it, so I would be curious as to how well it functioned.
Functioned very well.
From what you understand, Arngrim, goblinoids typically like to attack in large swarms. They're not very skilled creatures at most fighting styles. They typically use numbers to their advantage.
Very good. Great. So he's gonna heap them all in a big old pile, and there's not really any ceremony to it. And he's just gonna go around, and he'll just use the heel of his boot, and he's gonna trace a circle around it, and he's just gonna start putting a bunch of runes.
All right. And the runes. So what is the purpose of this?
He has gathered 200 of these small goblins, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And they're wargs that they're riding on.
Yep.
And he has encircled it, and he's just finished putting his runes. And Vellum, out of the corner of your eye, you might see a very similar thing as he pulls out his anvil, his anvil hammer, and begins to swing in the air. And as he does, the same little ghosts come out, start shifting around bodies and the like, and any sort of reddish sort of pallor that they had goes more and more pale as they begin to almost look like rotting pieces of meat. The structure, the stability of them, they begin to almost like flatten out in some as they dry out and sort of desiccate. And as he is hammering away at this little ghostly anvil, and he is using this the dwarven anvil hammer that he wields in combat. At the very tip of it, there starts to form a small metal bead. And at the end of an hour, there's about a grape-sized bead at the very end. The goblins are mostly, at this point, very mushy. And the runes fade as the last of his ghostly companions stop throwing more into the pile in front of him. And they just wipe their hands, nods, and walk away and fade off, and the little bead drops to the ground, where he picks it up and looks at it in the glimmer of the moonlight.
Did you just perform a Full Metal Alchemist fucking human transmutation?
Just turning
Oh, what?
blood is like, hey, blood has iron, right? Let's turn it into something else.
So I just, because my internet decided to crap out for about 30 seconds, missed all of that. What just happened? Just summarize
Arngrim
it.
gathered all of the goblins into a pile, summoned his spiritual ancestors using the last of his channel divinity, and made a small metal bead out of the thin air while all of them seemed to sort of melt and desiccate.
Like, yeah, that's fucked up.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Liska just kind of like gives a weird side glance to Arngrim doing that kind of weird freaky shit, and then just like goes through and continues to check on the troops, make sure everyone's alright. You know, not too banged up.
Can you imagine if some of the goblins were playing dead when that happened?
Oh god.
No playing now.
It's just suddenly there, and it falls over.
So most of the archers and the warriors, they seem, a little bit banged up, but mostly healthy. The 7 or so that were gravely injured have been nursed somewhat back to health, but they might be out of commission for the next few days. Just taking some time to recover. What with the mutual aid from Grunker and Arngrim's abilities.
Gotcha.
So, what's everyone doing now?
Velma back to bed.
Okay.
He got work to do tomorrow. Ain't no ambush charge stopping him.
Yeah, you gather. Probably good thing that you. I mean, especially with your military mind, Liska. Probably a good thing that you didn't let those war grinders go. Had they returned to wherever they came from, probably would have alerted the rest of the Greenskin throng.
Yep. Is it also too late to assume that before they got all packed up and whatnot that they were looted?
I would imagine so.
Cool.
Instead of rolling investigation for this, we can say you spend the next 30 minutes sort of going through each of these bodies before you get thrown onto the pile. Nothing much in the way of like gold. These are clearly meant to be cannon fodder by whomever is commanding them. You find rusted, these nasty rusted scimitars. You also find bits of armoured plating for the wargs. Low quality metal plating. Everything about them just seems shoddily hashed together from broken bits of stolen materials. Not very well armoured. Not very well skilled. Again, it's a numbers thing.
No, yeah, I got you. Okay, cool. We're just checking to see if like there was any gold or silver coinage at all. Anything that, because Liska saw an individual like be the one that motioned the attack. can she try to find who appeared to be the leader of this band?
Sure, just go ahead and make an investigation check.
I'm good at those. Alright, flat D20. Come on. Nope.
It's difficult to tell. You're not familiar with how goblins judge their rank. Kind of look for, any sort of ornate-looking armor, but most of it just looks like rags and spikes and crap.
Oh well, fuck it.
Yeah.
After that's done, I guess just to not be next to a smoldering pile of rotting meat, Liska's gonna have the neatly stacked individuals burned.
All right.
Unless Vellum has a.
No, I mean, I'm
different
looking at
idea?
what
just
what I
bury
wrote
them
in the
in
chat.
the sand. Or
Well, this is
dunes.
plains, not sand.
Yeah, I was about to say dunes, dirt.
Yeah.
Just
I was mostly referring to what Ungrim put in the chat. That there's no bodies. It's just their belongings.
Yeah. The bodies are.
They all got slurped into a bead.
Yep.
I thought it was just like the 3 to 4 grams of blood of
No, no,
iron
no.
in their blood
Yeah.
was.
Yes, that's
I made the
what
blood
happened.
joke. That's my fault.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
They're all shriveled like prunes, I imagine.
I denatured all of the iron out of the entirety of their body, and I got about 4 grams per body. So their bodies aren't all fucked up and gone. It's
They're
just
very anemic.
Yeah, they're super neat. Literally, all of the iron that is in their hemoglobin and all of their blood and all of their tissues is gone, denaturing their protein. So they're like a very tenderized piece of meat. Because
Atlas.
they're cellularly falling apart.
Atlas.
Yes.
Did you just said hemogoblin?
Hemogoblin.
Fuck's sake.
That's why they have
Hey.
green. That's why they have green skin.
The
Green blood.
ancients know of a secret alchemy requiring a material only found in greenskins in their blood, the hemogoblin. Oh
I
my god.
fucking hate you guys.
Anyway, so yeah, the
That
wargs
is-
and the goblins are getting burned.
Yep.
We create a giant smoke plume. Why don't you?
It's night.
It's
Like
not-
by the time they're done, the smoke won't by the time day comes around, they'll pretty much be gone.
You know.
Okay.
There's a lot of fat and shit in bodies, so they burn surprisingly well.
So, as the fire, this bonfire of goblinoids begins to take shape, the heat and the smell of burning bodies isn't pleasant, but it's a necessary evil. And as you all, I imagine you're doing like Vellum and returning to bed.
If the smell doesn't interrupt my sleep, yes.
Yeah. All
Just
right.
make sure it's all downwind.
Sleeping in an enclosed space where I don't have to worry about drifting scents on the wind.
Sense.
So,
That's
you will continue your night's rest, bed down for the evening. The adrenaline slowly making its way out of your bloodstream. Thankful that you didn't perish in this ambush. Thanks to
How's Vodmia?
Vadmia has pretty much just been hiding within the tents. She's a child. She's not meant for big.
No, that's fine. That's good.
Yeah, big
Just
battles.
making sure
she's where
she's-
she should be, not involved in war.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
And as you continue your night's rest, uninterrupted, thankfully,
Hey.
come back to wakefulness the next morning. To all recover from last night's ambush.
Hooray. I have questions, if okay. On the map, because it's been a while since it's come up, I think. How much distance do we get in a day?
2 hex.
2 hexes per day because of the
2
steam
hexes a
hammer.
day. Okay, so it's like 12.
How far have we gone so far? Because our party icon's way down here.
You've spent a number of days on the road on the off road here. 1,
About
2,
8.
3,
Just
4, 5, 6, 7, 8 so far.
yeah, because I got a lot of checks to make. Remember, I just need to know
Yes.
how many days is all, so I can.
You spent
Do get roll.
just over a week on the road.
Right, because
Do you know
I
how
was
long
gonna
it's
do.
been since we left the capital?
It's been
1
since the
week since you
capital.
went there.
Long ass time.
I
I
know we
think you said it's
calculated
been
that
like a
before.
couple months.
Yeah, I would need to calculate that.
Or have you updated the calendar as well? So I know it's been 2 months at least.
Right, okay, hang on.
But we know in Lakesville
8
it was.
days since Patricia's.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys left. I remember this. You guys did leave the capital on some. I will have to look up the holiday after the game. We can do this after the game.
Ask Spice.
Yes, we can do this.
Divest, we summoned thee.
We can do this after the game.
Yes, but the reason I asked is I had an RP thing I was going to do, because very relevant to the discussion that Vellum had with
Sure.
Arngrim, after the morning of the 4th day, because after the 3rd day, Vellum ran out of steel and he was going to approach Arngrim about it.
You can do that now.
Okay, good. Apparently we're left on Sundance, according to our Grand Archivist. But moving on. Right, so the morning of, as everyone's prepping, I'm sort of staring like a little piece of an ingot. It's not a full ingot. It's like 8/10ths of an ingot. And he sort of has a moment of realization, and then makes his way over to where Arngrim would likely be at this sort of time of the morning. It's still relatively early, like before we set out. Arngrim, I might need your help with something if you're able.
Arngrim is greedily eating the last bit of what appears to be some type of nut and raisin muffin that he's added. Hey, what can I do for you, Vellum?
Right, so you showed me how, like, you and your ancestors do all that stuff, and you did metal into wood. Can you do metal into other metals?
Hey,
That's good, because I forgot the stock
you
up on steel.
remember
'cause I didn't
Sayun's, gave some of you some of her rounds.
Right. That's a breath of relief then, because I didn't think I'd be outfitting this many folk as soon as it was, and I'm out of steel. I could try and provide whatever you need for raw materials or whatever, but I'm wondering if you could make some with your changing ancestor magic, or what do you call it anyway?
Oh, it's a blessing, lad.
Well, if you're able, could you use your blessing to turn some other metals or something into steel so I can get more shields for these lads?
Sure, aye. If you, I don't think, no, it certainly wouldn't have burned hot enough. But if we have any more like weapons, or even if it's the rusted shite they were using, I can actually make it some pretty good steel. So if we gather any things, I can transmute some things for you and put it into ingots. I can make up to around 100 pounds, or 100 coins worth in terms of gold value. Much more than that gets too complicated for the ritual.
That makes sense.
Isn't it
Everything's on
too-
limit. Wait, can you do like just straight up coinal value?
For the most part, aye.
Well, instead of just faffing about and gathering shit up, which could take forever, why don't I just give you the coinage and then you work your blessing magic?
And waste
I don't think we got the
money?
luxury of time on the road here, what with, war and all.
Sure thing. It'll have to be when we take a little break around luncheon. Unless you want to put this on hold for a bit, I could do that. Give the lads a little bit of time during maybe Liska's morning drills.
It takes like an hour, right?
It does.
It might be good to do it now, because then I could probably get a shield out by lunch if I manage to work well enough.
I see. Alright, hold on a minute. He's gonna lean over, turn around, look for Liska, which I imagine will not be hard to find.
Where could she be?
It's very obvious.
Is she behind the tree? Is she behind the rock?
She's behind the bush.
Bush? Alright. He's just gonna shout,
There's a bush.
"Oi! Drill Sergeant! We got an hour?"
Is this in the morning? Like,
Yeah, it's
and
like
whatnot?
relatively early morning.
Okay. Then yeah, it's question. She'd be doing this. She'd be working them out before they ate, so they don't throw up the food they just ate. So,
Oh man.
so if this is before or after breakfast, then yes, plan accordingly. But assuming that she's working them, let's say this is before breakfast. So, she's going to hear that, turn, look to Arngrim, look better back at the boys, kind of like panting and like bent over, just sweating. Yes, an hour is good.
Hey. Okay, Willem, I'll help you with this. But in exchange, you gotta do me a favor.
Sure. Making my life a lot easier here, so I figure it's fair.
Alright, fair is fair then, lad. And he's gonna turn around and rummage through one of the barrels by his tent. And then he quickly throws something at you. It's all knotted up. It's a piece of cloth that hits you in the chest. There's an apron. Put it on. You're helping me prepare breakfast. We're gonna have to do a long brew stew, so that way it can simmer while I walk away and do this.
Sure. Do my best. Usually the stuff I cook is a bit drier, so this'll be new.
Alright.
You see,
I'm going-
You don't get many wet meals in the desert.
you see, Varbia kind of poke her head out of the of the caravan as it's making its way beside the tank. She says, "Oh, can I help?"
Can you help? I was expecting you to.
Can I?
Yeah, come on, we'll make a thing of it. He's already putting the apron on.
She
I've been teaching her.
bounds over towards the both of you.
Oh, you have? You've been learning how to cook from Arngrim, have you?
Vadmir knows all of the spices' names. There is cumin, there is basil, there is thyme, there is rosemary. What was the other one?
Salt.
Hi, Mr. Freeman.
Oh,
Alright, so-
salt, pepper,
And fat.
and
The
fat.
best seasoning.
Of course, fat's spice to it.
Alright.
Well, we'll see about getting you some, look at some of them fancier spices from overseas, back home.
Ooh.
It's not the best roll, but I'll take it. I rolled a 4.
It
I
is.
got a 16, but I rolled a 4.
You've got Vellum there, sort of. He's more of a hindrance than a help, let's be honest. You're also
Yeah.
trying to juggle teaching Vadmir, so it kind of makes sense.
Alright.
Let's also be
In
real.
between that-
It's a stew. It's gonna get better.
How do you calculate the prices for your steel?
Let me go check at the metals bit. Because I have the thing that Jen's been using as a reference. Steel is 4 gold pieces a pound, i.e. ingot. So I'm gonna just do the full amount of 100. So I'll just knock 100 gold off, and then we can figure out what. Oh wait, not 100 gold off.
Okay,
Let's figure out
because-
what the most we can get, and then I'll pay that. Yeah,
25.
25 pounds of
25
steel.
pounds?
Yeah, 25 ingots.
Nice.
Alright, there you go. So he does that for an hour. The coin begins to stretch out a little bit. Every time he hits it, flakes of iron chunks come off the coin, rather than it just disappearing. It's like it's worth every time he hits it turns into chunks of iron that gets just forming a bead and then a little rectangle, and eventually all of that gets reforged into ingots. And you have, this is something that's rather interesting, you end up with, given its value and the size of it, you have several sheets of ingots, and there's just connected right at the bottom at the very end in that sort of
like a model kit.
Kinda, yes. Or if you think of like a factory sheet where you can just press things out, or a chocolate bar where it's connected right and each little piece just breaks right off, you essentially have one of those, as
Like
it's
a-
one large manufactured item.
Perforations.
Yeah, much like that.
You know, I wasn't sure what to think of it at first, but that is incredibly fucking useful, Albert. I am very glad you're along with us.
I am very glad to be here. I got to agree, it's quite useful. I don't like to use coins themselves, I prefer to use actual metal's worth. But coins can work just fine in a pinch.
If I had any kind of metal, I'd give it to you, but trying to rummage that stuff. I mean, all I've got is dark iron, but I kind of need that for other stuff.
Oh, that's useful. Alright. Well, I can do this for you. I'm also quite capable in the more traditional methods. I'm not just a show horse here. So, if you want some help, I can return the favor.
No problem, we'll see how it goes. I should be alright with Sal helping me for the time being, and this will be on the road anyway, so you need to drive.
Oh, then you'll be fine.
Yeah. But thanks again, Argrim. That's well, probably literally a lifesaver, considering, you know, shields.
Aye. Just make them right. You don't have to be perfect. You've seen the weapons they're going against.
True,
They just
but
have to be in the hands of men.
when they're there to protect someone's life, I'm not gonna half-ass it, but I ain't about to take all day with it either. Well, you get what I mean.
Oh, I understand, lad, but 30 shields that are good enough are better in the hands of those men than one that's perfect.
How many
That's it.
pounds again? Sorry, was that 25 pounds or
25 pounds.
25 pounds? Cool. Oh, nice. It's exactly 100. Saves me doing math.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Numbers are magical.
Takes a short
sometimes.
rest. So
After
that's
that, we're all
done.
set to go.
We will eat breakfast, and I assume have a little short rest, so that way I have enough charges to use my tank.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
But with that,
sorry.
go ahead.
So, out of character question, Janer. So, where the party icon is on the map currently is where we are at the moment, yes?
Yes, right now, yes.
And from what point did we leave Lakesvale? Is it this hex?
yes, that hex.
Okay, so 1, 2,
8 days.
So 8 days. Cool. I've done 3. I need 5 more. It's open
8 days.
sheet. Why have you done this to me? Why have
This
you
is,
opened minimize?
50 miles per day is what you've been walking.
Okay. 5 more rolls if... Oh my god, stop! For some reason my mouse is just like auto-dragging everything. Okay. Sheet done freaking out. I've got to make 5 rolls.
Alright, so...
Oh, 5 days of rolls.
Yeah.
I'll do that in the background though. Continue.
Okay. So, as you all complete your short rests here for the moment, eating lunch here, it's a stew. It's not the most glorious of meals, but it's filling, and it warms the bellies of all.
It's the perfect army meal.
Yep.
Fucking MRE.
Let's see. Okay, so yeah, about we'll say prepare another few rolls, Vellum. So about 3 more days go by unhindered,
Okay.
thankfully. So 1, 2, say 3 there. There we go.
Might. A few folks might get Masterwork shields. Depends on the confirmation rolls I do later.
Masterworks are just magical, dude.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm just saying
just
it's not
making magic shit.
guaranteed until I do the confirmation rolls, you know.
Getting Sayun's help, continue to forge, forge on, as it were. And I will say the last day or so you would get it with advantage because you're now just on the road.
Sweet. I love advantage. So, how many more? Just one more? It's the last day of travel, you said?
So three more from previously. 3. Yeah. What you had previously plus 3, and that last one of those 3 is going to be with advantage because that last day was spent on the carved path.
Okay, so from what I've rolled here, 3 more days, and the last one's with advantage.
Yes.
Okay. This one's with advantage.
Nice.
I'm gonna have so much figuring out to do soon.
Yeah. So, emerging over the plains, you eventually set your sights upon a great valley of golden grass and rocky hills. Running through the centre of the valley is a long river that probably did carve this valley. And it emerges from what looks like a misty thicket of dead trees to the distant west, nestled at the feet of a series of mountainous cliffs that likely outline the outsides of the Matanyor Canyon overhead. To the east of the river, the other side of the valley, rolls up into the Garen's Ridge Mountains. And the end of the river drops off into a great waterfall, into a massive canyon-like river mouth. There, at the waterfall, and carved into the foot of the Garen's Ridge Mountains, is a large mountain stronghold. The great visage of a grim, bearded face is the first thing that catches your attention. Massive in size, it's the image of a dwarf carved into the mountainside, and its beard merges down into the Great Canyon that seems to open up towards the seas of the Whip of Fire. A series of arches across what would be its beard. It seems like they would enter into some sort of interior cave or harbour within the mountain itself. I believe I gave you the handout for this, Angrim.
I believe so. Let me double check.
Yes, it should be on the World Animal page at Druvenholm.
Check.
Next to the face, across the base of the mountain, and carved into the cliffside of this mouth, are the walled outskirts of some sort of fortified settlement. A great wooden water wheel sits at the apex of the waterfall and turns with the rapid currents. To the far south, where the Garen's Ridge Mountains continues from the other side of the river's mouth, away towards the southwest, you can see more dwarven structures embedded into the mountainside. Give me a second here.
Oh, in the meantime, Arngrim will mark upon the city as they come up to it, Aye. The great and impressive Druvenholm. It's one of the most old and just well-established dwarven citadels there is. One of the first few to be founded during the War of the Broken Chains, you know. Behind Dune Hollow. It's rich. Very rich. Almost as much as the capital, so if you need anything, you should be able to buy it. But most of it is precious metals and jewels, gold and gemstones. Be real careful here. Don't be a joker, Granka. These are a stern and mean people. They've been through a lot of conflict, and politics are taken very seriously here. They're still bitter over the war for the Silver Crown. So don't be a... Just understand dwarven attitudes, and if someone's being rude, they're not being rude, they're being a dwarf. And just mind your step, mind your manners, and don't be a nuisance.
Thou just looks to Arngrim and then does a slight gesture to the fact that she's a full orc. And then over to Vellum, who is a half-breed. Like, this guy might be the big one, but we stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, I'm amazed we haven't come across as much resistance as we have.
You're orcs. No one gives a shite about orcs. You're not greenskins. Oh, it's the goblins.
Looks at Sal.
You know, that phrase really kind of muddies the water.
Well, most of the orcs tend to be a bit more grey, not green. If you've seen like a proper forest goblin, they are just smack on leafy green. They just blend right in.
Right.
You're grey and you're more sandy beige.
Alright.
Let me ask you this way. Have you and your ancestors been at war for generations with the dwarves?
No, not with the dwarves. No.
Then we don't care.
Alright. Good stuff.
Alright.
We are technically new, so we have not been fighting.
Yeah, they might be confused about you at first, but I'll vouch for you.
You got people to speak on your behalf, so if they give you trouble, we'll give him.
We're just gonna reach down into his bag. And just
I
gonna...
wish I had a tabard.
We're just gonna...
If only there was tabards.
Down into his bag. And he's gonna pull out a deep dwarf beard.
Oh god, did he scalp a deep dwarf?
Yeah, don't you remember that?
No!
That was ages ago.
I mean, it's coming in handy, apparently.
It's not the freshest of things. There's the immediate smell.
I mean, there's no air in a bag of holding, Janner. Can it rot if there's no air?
Janner, before you go on with that description, ask if there's any. It was scalped or cut off.
Yes.
Doesn't help. If it was cut off, then it's just literally just a beard. If it was scalped, there is flesh with it.
Yeah.
Scalped.
Yeah. It's
All right then.
It's not the most pleasant of smells, but it's.
That'd be fine.
It's mostly there.
You're just gonna stand there.
just like, oh,
he's just holding
pull that out.
Yeah, he's just holding it there. Yes. Yeah.
You see this nasty sort of bristly white beard with a bit of slightly off flesh attached to it.
Yeah.
Oh.
I should probably have this fixed.
Have that. Let's have that tan. Taking beards as trophies isn't the most unusual thing. Okay, let's. There's bound to be somebody here who can do that. For the meantime, Liska, can you get all the boys lined up? They're probably gotta do a check for us at the gates if they aren't on fire. And at that point, you know...
Is it just me, or did I just hear someone scream in
Like,
Sirenscape?
No.
Is there still combat? Like, am I the only one that still has combat going on?
This is
Hang
a
on.
war in place.
Let me-
There's always combat.
Let me restart the whole.
yeah,
fucking-
very aggressive people.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's just the haunted spirit of Port Kazad.
What about
That's your
Pork?
normal dwarven battle music.
Pork Kazad? What happened?
Port Kazad. It's the main port here. Legends say there's a haunted woman who screams at the dead of the night. It's a long story about clans and feuds and murder.
How do they get any sleep?
Anyway, it's good luck if you hear her scream. It means you're not the one that's been murdered.
Is she screaming at like a drunk husband, or is she screaming
So she
at
only
like
screams after she murders somebody?
Are you sure it's murder?
which is
Oh, it's
screaming?
definitely murder. Sometimes it's also seen as a murder-suicide with someone jumping in the port. That's why she's dead, by the way. Husband died time ago, and it's a long story. I'll have to tell it over a campfire. It's really heartwarming.
But regardless, as you approach with your forces in tow, you see the outskirts of the town they are in fact what looks like a heavily fortified walls surrounding presumably some sort of exterior living space here, just out the front of the front gates here. You make your way along the cobblestone road towards the walls of Drugenholm. You hear the hammering of wood, metal and stone, and a great commotion within. You look above and you see workers on the walls, patching up cracks, and masons putting the final touches on repair efforts. You can also see what looks like large cannons being wheeled into place.
Zhao's interest has been piqued.
Big kaboos.
Okay.
This is a good narrative moment to stop.
Hang on. I'm just going to leave it off in a moment.
Oh.
You hear what sounds like a dwarven horn sounding out. And one by one, a number of armoured dwarves begin to man the ramparts, crossbows drawn upon your position, and your small regiments wearily halt at the door. You see an ancient, grim-faced, elderly dwarf with a braided and decorated long white beard seems to emerge over the ramparts atop the gatehouse and holds out holds up a gauntleted hand as he seems to look over all of you. Anything to say, or?
I mean, is he going to... Okay, I'm going to close
Does he
out
say anything, or
Sirenscape,
does he just
because
stop
for
us?
some reason it's just...
Yeah, is he addressing
so
us, or is
combat.
he just standing there?
Yeah.
Seemingly just kind of standing there looking over your group before he kind of bellows out, "Stand down, men!" His armour is immaculate. You can see a helmet kind of forked with two tall golden prongs engraved with runes. And he wears what looks like a full silver and golden plate. With what looks like a crimson cloak over one shoulder. And he holds what looks like a massive golden maul in both hands, rather. The head of it is as big as he is wide.
Jesus.
Seems Lakesville has sent us reinforcements. Open the gates! The horn sounds once again, and the massive double doors grind open. and you enter into a tremendous courtyard. About 200 feet wide, 800 feet long. The enclosed area, seemingly behind this tremendous wall of Druidenholm, it's bustling with activity. You can see great smelters and smiths crafting weapons. You can see goats ferrying armaments and building materials to the numerous soldiers across the area. Tents and kitchens have been set up to give this, seemingly, from what you can see, this 1,000 strong standing dwarven army. Places to eat and sleep. And it seems clear that this is Druidenholm, preparing for a great battle. The heavily armoured dwarf descends the battlements, meets you inside. And a number of Iron Guard flank his position and stand at his side. Seemingly he has his own entourage of bodyguards. It's clear this individual has a very high station here. He takes off his helmet and holds it by his side. And you all see a familiar face. You see this ancient-looking dwarf, long white beard, bald on top, covered in liver spots, and a large plate of ruined bronze bolted into the side of his head.
Motherfucker.
It's your boy.
You see this individual, you saw this individual during your meeting with the Mayland Council.
I hadn't thought that Lakesville of all places would be willing to send aid our way. Small number though, but I shan't look a gift ram in the mouth. I'm glad to see some familiar faces.
Well, it is part of my position now. And of course, sort of looking to Angrim, some people ain't gonna ignore the call of their kin, are they?
Nope. We are the official reinforcements of the Mayland Defense Council, coming from the kingdom, obviously. And we decided to pick up some reinforcements on the way.
Good, good. Yadres Khazad Runemaker, Lord of the Matnyor Canyons, King of the Druidenholm. I oversee the war efforts here. Let your men stay, take water, eat and rest.
How goes the siege so far?
It's dire. Come. There is much to do, and I have much to speak of.
And he walks you over towards a stone-carved room built into the side of this front edifice of Druidenholm. It looks like this has been set up as some sort of temporary command centre. You see a massive stone table carved into the shape of the surrounding nearby regions, and a number of stone icons representing regiments.
Let us speak. A coming siege.
And with that, we'll end it there.
Yay, because I do not have the brain power to listen.
Yay.
Alright.
Alright.
Well, that was better than expected.
Better than expected. What were you expecting?
Well,
The place to already be under attack?
Or, you know, we would lose some soldiers.
Nope, we got
Well, you did well. That
healers
was your role.
and we got
Yeah.
healers and shit,
Good job.
and they did so well.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So proud.
The lads.
Mama
Proud.
bear's
Your
proud.
training really paid off. Drill sergeant, master sergeant.
I just had a realization.
Yeah.
Grunke is basically Angrong from 40k, but better.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know what that is.
The TLDR is he's a giant dude who gets angry a lot, flays people with axes, and just in general is a murder monster. But ironically enough,
correct.
his innate ability is to heal people.
A way you could kill them longer.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
It's
Well,
kinda
we want to
funny.
stop the recording there.
Yep. Gonna stop in 3, 2, 1.